The ICC Cricket World Cup proudly brought to you by Hahn Premium Light. You can't get the taste out of your head. Harvey Norman. The Extreme Nissan X-Trail. And Travelex, the world's largest foreign exchange specialist.
Very good morning to you. Welcome to the Eastern Cape, to Port Elizabeth and to St George's Park, the venue for this match today between Australia and England in Pool A in this ICC Cricket World Cup, South Africa 2003. Now the pool table looks like this morning. Australia very comfortably placed at the top of it. They've got 20 points, having won all their matches. India also on 20, having lost one though, played 6-1-5. England and Zimbabwe on 12, Pakistan on 8. Theoretically, England, Zimbabwe and Pakistan are all vying for a place, i.e. that number 3 slot, a place therefore in the Super Sixes that come as the next phase of this World Cup. Australia so far, well I said they won all their games, it's been wonderful progress, very easy progress it seems for a very fine side. Pakistan disposed of by 82 runs, India by 9 wickets, Holland by 75 runs, Zimbabwe by 7 wickets, and Namibia a massive 256 runs. England still to come today. For England, they didn't play against Zimbabwe, they forfeited that match. They beat Holland and Namibia. They beat Pakistan in Cape Town under the lights, impressively. They then suffered against India, also under lights, in Durban and lost it by 82. This is their last match in the qualifying section of this World Cup. Well, head-to-head, it reads pretty grim if you're an England supporter, very well if you're an Australian supporter. Australia won the last 13 ODIs against England, 1999 that run started. They're looking for a record today, a 12th consecutive one-day international victory. They won 37 out of their last 50. England have won only 20. So recent form suggests that Australia will be runaway favourites today. England, I'm sure, will have something to say about that. Ricky Ponting can be quite relaxed today, in the sense he knows his side are already qualified, but that target we've just mentioned, to continue that winning sequence, very much in his mind. And of course 4 points here would ensure them a very healthy start in the Super Sixes. Whereas for Nasser Hussain, all the pressure is still on, even if he wasn't showing it too much at the start of the day. Crowd is building up, supporters again from both teams. They'll be interested in conditions. So let's get a report now from Ian Botham.
Here we are in Port Elizabeth, and I have to say, a big game for both teams. England, obviously, because they want to qualify. Australia, they want to set a new record, beating the West Indies one-day record, consecutive wins. Now, the pitch. This is the part that, of course, is interesting to both sides at the start of a game. To me, it looks quite shiny, but it does look, and I often feel with the wicket here at Port Elizabeth, that it has a little bit of moisture in it early on. And if you look at it, to me, it has that colour, and it just has that feel. Now, Ian Healy's doing this game with me, and he's discovered something quite interesting. Heels?
Yes, Beef. Well, when I was a wicketkeeper, I always used to ask the groundsman and look at these stump microphone holes to see how much moisture is under the surface, and you can probably assume that the wicket is the same because it's just behind the actual playing wicket. And you can look at the chunk that the groundsman's provided us from this hole. You can see in profile the moisture that is underneath the surface. There's the surface. You can see a little drier on top before the moisture really does come through. So you can imagine that the top might dry out and become a little harder to bat in the afternoon. The spin bowling might come into play, and I think, Beef, that this could be a toss that the captains might like to lose and have to do what the opposition tells them to.
Well, I think I agree with you. I think it's one of those wickets, well, OK, if they say to me I've got to bat, I'll bat. If I'm going to bowl, I'm going to bowl. But there's something there for everybody. I think if you get over the first few overs, I think you'll be able to hit the ball, play a few shots, and I think the game, it will get lower as the game goes on. But England, I think, on the other hand, would probably want to bat first.
Well, be interesting, won't it? There's pressure everywhere.
So there you go. Whoever wins the toss, maybe it's, as Heel says, a good one not to win.
Well, that was as clear as the mud that Ian Healy was looking at. Today's weather, 29 degrees centigrade is the forecast high, 84 degrees Fahrenheit, fine and warm, no problems with the clouds on the horizon, no thunderstorms. They apparently are up the coast, up in KwaZulu-Natal today, but down here in the Eastern Cape, all is well. And those supporters will be basking in, I think, a very hot day today, hoping some hot action as well. Well, that toss happened a few minutes ago. Let's check what happened with Mark Taylor.
Yes, well, out in the middle I have Australian captain Ricky Ponting, Nasser Hussain from England, and Wasim Raja, the match referee. And Ricky, you've got the gold coin. Head's the call. Come down as a head.
Okay, we'll have a bat, mate. Good luck.
Well, that's a good toss to win, mate.
Yeah, we're going to have a bat. I think it'll probably do a little bit at both ends of the game. There might be a little bit in it this morning, but it looks pretty crumbly as well, so hopefully it'll get slower and lower as the day progresses.
And you've got Ashley Giles in the side. Is that hoping it might spin later on this afternoon?
Yeah, I think, Ashley's a quality spinner, so he's had a few injury problems, but he comes back in at the side. And obviously we've got Michael Vaughan bowls a bit of spin as well, so we just got to get some runs on the board first.
And you've got to try and keep winning, I suppose.
Yeah, there's no let up now. Australia are a good side, but if we play like we can beat them today.
Just one quick question. You've played now in 2 qualifying matches under lights. Both times the side batting second has been beaten quite comfortably. Your thoughts on those sort of games?
Hopefully they won't turn the lights on today. So, I think, obviously, that's for other people to answer. Today we just got to concentrate on winning this game, Mark.
All right, play well today. And Ricky, looks like a pretty good strip. You would like to have batted first?
Yeah, probably would have batted first, but saying that, it's not overly hard on top, so there might be a little bit of sideways movement with the new ball, so we're going to make the most of it if there is.
No Jason Gillespie, so still out of the side, still a bit of an Achilles problem?
Yeah, still a slight problem there. It's nothing, well, we hope it's nothing too major. Just pulled up a little bit sore yesterday than we expected, so we're going with the same side as the last game.
We've already qualified as the leader in Group A, but I suppose you've just got to try and keep winning, keep the feeling going in the side.
We certainly do, yeah. We've got some really good momentum going at the moment. We haven't really been tested in our last few games, but we probably will be today, so we're looking forward to a big challenge.
Australia v England, mate, you always seem to enjoy these sorts of games.
Yeah, we've had some great games over the last couple of years, no doubt about that, and looking back to the VB series, there were some great games there between the two teams, so we're looking forward to today.
Oh, well, play well today, mate, and all the best.
Thanks, mate.
Well, there you have it, out in the middle of St George's Park. Nasser Hussain from England has won the toss, and not surprisingly, he's batting first.
So England to bat first with this team. Marcus Trescothick and Nick Knight yet again at the top there. Vaughan, Hussain, Stewart, Collingwood. Andrew Flintoff, who had such a good day both with bat and ball against India in Durban. Craig White. Ashley Giles comes back into the team here at Port Elizabeth instead of Ronnie Irani, who is the extra seam option in that final game, that last game. And then again, it's Andrew Caddick and James Anderson who will operate with a new ball. For Australia, Gillespie's the man who's still absent with that strain. It gives another chance to Andy Bickle there down the order. Glenn McGrath, Andy Bickle, Brett Lee, the spearhead, Brad Hogg will bowl those left-arm twiddlies, Andrew Simons as well, maybe. Darren Lehman can bowl slow left arm, as can Michael Bevan. The batting, of course, is, again, looking very, very strong with Hayden, Gilchrist, Ponting, Martin, Lehman, Bevan, Simons, all in some sort of form. And if one fails, as it seems, plenty of others to take up the slack. So that's the Australian team, and they will be in the field first. Everyone just relaxing as we have just a few minutes to start, a few minutes to relax rather before the game starts. Now, I managed to catch up with one of the men today who has a point to prove, England's Nick Knight. Well, Nick, it's a big day. First of all, congratulations. It's your 100th one-day international. Is that special for you?
Yeah, very special. Started a long time ago. It seems a long time ago, and to reach 100 when I first started, never believed it. So yeah, it's a big moment.
I suppose what would make this a very special day would be to beat Australia as well.
Yeah, it's worked out quite well. It's not only my 100th, it's a massive game. Australia, our destiny in the hands of our own performance really today.
Now, okay, having had a pretty tough time, to say the least, against the Australians in the winter prior to this, any different thoughts about this game?
Oh, not really. I mean, we have the advantage, if you like. I mean, sure, we'd like to have won some of those games. We didn't get to win any, but we saw them firsthand. We're not having to look at videos. We've seen them play. We've seen their strengths and weaknesses. So we've tried to prepare well, and we know what we've got to do to beat them. It's just a matter of trying to carry that out.
And I suppose trying to build on those days where you got close before but didn't quite get there.
Yeah, they were the real disappointments for us. I think Hobart, particularly in the last final at Melbourne, with 2 games we definitely should have won. We did all the winning bar winning it. So that was a massive disappointment for us. But we know we can beat them. That's the important thing.
And are you feeling in good form yourself?
Yeah, I've got to stop running myself out, and then I'll be all right, won't I?
Would make a difference, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I mean, that was a disappointment for me, but I feel like I've been hitting the ball pretty well. I had a good series in Australia. I'm feeling confident to go out there and try and hit the ball.
Great, well, wish you well.
Thank you very much.
Well, Nick Knight will be opening the batting in just over 5 minutes' time. Just another look at how these two sides compare then. Overall, Australia have won 43 against England's 31 in meetings between these two sides. Average age is very similar. The statistics relating to the top 5 batsmen, interesting reading, of course. The Australians, 44.62 is the average of their top 5. 34.18 is the corresponding average of the England top 5. So already that would suggest there is a difference in quality there. The bowling figures are fairly similar, but the key really for everyone will be the results, not just the ones you see there. Australia in fine form, having won their last 5 contests. England have won 3 out of them and lost that last one in Durban. But Australia, of course, is such a fine record against England. That'll be, I think, of overriding importance when this match starts. The umpires today on their way out, preparing to get this game underway. Russell Tiffin and Aleem Dar, and the Australians soon to follow. Ricky Ponting leading his men down, looking ever confident. Andrew Simons, who began the World Cup for Australia in such fine style, one of a whole host of Australian batsmen in fine form here. Ponting enjoying the role as captain, enjoying the success, and with another target here today, of course, just to continue Australia's winning fortunes against England. And the men who are going to try and do something about that straight away, the left-handers Marcus Trescothick and Nick Knight, a very established opening partnership for England. The flags are flying, the action is about to start. Your commentators when it does will be David Lloyd and Tony Greig.
Right, well, there they go. This is a big moment for these English opening batsmen. They really do want to get a victory against Australia under their belts. It'll mean a lot to the England side, and the openers obviously play a very important role in that regard. They've won the toss, so that's a step in the right direction. They've made a positive move. They decided that they would bat first, and they've got 2 good players, Trescothick and Knight, out in the centre. They're going to front up to obviously a good attack. But David Lloyd, this is a big game for England.
To me, it's quite simple. To win this game, England have to play better than they've ever played before. All the stats are there. They just keep losing against Australia, and you get questions of how do you beat Australia? Well, England will have to play better than they've ever played before. It's a must-win situation for the English. Australia have qualified. They're fine. They're off and running. The cricket has been excellent. Nasser Hussain has won the toss and said, yeah, we will bat first, and I think that is a positive move. But I was here at Port Elizabeth for the England-Namibia game, and it was an unbelievably slow pitch, was this. I don't think this will be any different. I should think that the new ball will nibble around a little bit. It won't be express pace, it won't be quick, but what we saw in that game against Namibia, but the ball did spin. Brad Hogg is a wrist spinner in Australia's side. Ashley Giles is preferred for England. Ronnie Irani misses out. But once again, it's familiar territory for all these players. They've seen each other throughout the winter, and here they go again. Aleem Dar from Pakistan, the standing umpire with Russell Tiffin.
Right, well, here we go. Glenn McGrath bowling the first ball of this match. And as one would expect, on that line, just on an outside off stump. The Australian field, as usual, pretty aggressive, although just 2 slips in there. Quite often you see them start with 3. I suppose it'll depend just a little bit on what happens with this first over. 2 slips, 3 men saving 1. No gully in position. It's a little unusual.
This was Trescothick. You certainly have a gully in there. The way that he's been playing, he's out to nick.
Matty Hayden there at backward point. Yes, this is interesting. One of the features of the Australian game has been the aggressive nature of it, especially in terms of their field placing. They try and encourage their bowlers to adopt an attacking field, more so than they have done in years gone. This is just a slight difference here. Perhaps it's the slowness or the perceived slowness of this pitch that has resulted in no gully. Oh boy, that's too close to be leaving, but also bounced a little bit. No chance of hitting the stumps.
He's been acutely out of form, Marcus Trescothick. The amount of time that he's worked in the nets one-to-one with Duncan Fletcher, he's been on the bowling machine, he's been in the nets itself. Finding out where his off-stump is, I think it's extraordinary that there isn't a gully in there. It's his area, he scores into that gully region, but he also gets out in gully region, and this ball will nip around on this surface.
Oh, and that's wide. Well, it's an aspect of the English game that's a little bit of a worry to me. That advanced slog, pretty early days to be doing this sort of thing. I think it gives you some idea of the tenseness out there. It's not the sort of thing you'd expect to happen in the first over.
Well, he's done everything that he can in the previous matches to try to block and be careful. It looks as if he will try something different here. It's just a heave and a miss.
Yeah. Well, that's well played. That's better. That's a good shot. It'll go for 4. So Trescothick getting one off the middle of the bat and placing it well too. Great atmosphere in the ground. Lots and lots of English spectators. He finds the middle of the bat, Trescothick. That'll be good for him. You can tell from his body language in previous matches that he's just not at the races. That'll do him a world of good to find the middle of the bat. And it's his area as well, just back with a square on the offside. McGrath just short of a length outside off stump. And again, and a magnificent shot that time. Too short from McGrath. You don't often see him bowling that short. What a lovely shot.
Pinching gloves already, these two out there in the middle. Familiar to each other. Nick Knight, Trescothick, look at Trescothick again. It's his area, it's in the slot. Give him a bit of width. And he crashes the ball away. Find the middle of the bat early on. That's not McGrath.
As you can see, his reaction to that, not one which you often see. That's much better. That's a better length. And a fumble. It's 9 for none.
Just doesn't get any better than this, does it? That you get England and Australia once again. They've been against each other all winter. Trescothick comes herring down the pitch, second to third. Then he finds the middle of the bat. The crowd erupted. There's lots and lots of English spectators in here. must win this game. Scothic, Knight, Vaughan, Hussain, Stewart, Collingwood, Flintoff, White, Giles back into the team, no Ronnie Irani. Familiar Caddick and Anderson bringing up the rear. Quite a cloudy sort of day just at the minute. Towards the sea, there's blue sky, but just inland there's a fair amount of cloud around.
Right, well, Brett Lee, 60 matches. And an economy rate of 4.73. Bowling a little bit better than that at the moment. He's been very straight just lately. He's right in top form. Ricky Ponting had a bit of a go at him just a little while back, saying he wanted him to be a little straighter. Well, he's a little straighter, all right, and he's just as fast. Bang on target, but again, just 2 slips for Brett Lee.
147 Ks, just as loose and straight away. He's a brilliant athlete, is this guy, Brett Lee. There's a 2 slips in position. I feel sure that when they do settle in there, a gully will come in, or 3 slips. Particularly gully on this pitch, because I've seen it before, and it's quite slow, and you will find the ball will go in the air in that gully region.
They've got their square men, those 2 there, very square. You can see quite close to each other. Again, a bit of a defensive field setting that, because that anticipates short bowling. Bang on target. These 2, of course, have played together a lot. 40th consecutive occasion that they're opening the batting together today.
Do you know, I thought that Australia would have come out here and said, OK, we keep beating you, and we're going to beat you again, and we're going to nail you. When you look round there as a batsman, you're going to see 2 slips, 3 slips, 4 slips in a gully. We're going to put pressure on. It's not been like that. It's just quite a defensive field. It's a normal sort of field that every other team employs. Just 2 slips. Ring of 3 on the offside, 2 on the leg side, saving 1.
That's offline and nicely played, tucked away. Simons is after it. This is a fast outfield. That one goes to the boundary as well. So, 4 boundaries for England already.
Might just be a good toss to win, but it's early doors as yet. You just get the pace of both these bowlers, particularly Lee, that once you get in the middle of the bat, it is a fast outfield. You beat the infield, and the ball will race away. Nick Knight this time, just in front of square on the leg side.
Well, that really did run away fast. We'll see a lot of boundaries today. Actually, 3 have been scored so far. And just down the leg side. Fast.
Oh, it's rapid, all right. 155.8 Ks. Never cease to be amazed by watching Brett Lee bowl. There's no such thing as a loosener. It just comes in and eases into his action. It's bullseye straight away. Terrific athlete. There's so much of a difference at this sort of pace. Over 22 yards, a batsman doesn't have any time whatsoever. He's got better and better for me. He is bowling straighter. Captain wanted him to bowl straighter. He will go for a few because you just need bat on ball. But he's a wicket taker. He's an aggressive bowler.
Oh, and he's got him jumping around a little bit. Just worthwhile pointing out that on the last 2 occasions that he played against England, Brett Lee has been the man of the match. 3 for 29 and 5 for 30. So just recently, he's had it all over them.
Well, these guys are good players and they're jumping around already. Just short of 160, that last delivery, just short of 160 Ks. Look at that, fastest ball, 159.9, average speed 155. Bet your life he's loose.
Oh, he's got that way off his thigh pad, I think. Down to fine leg for 1. In comes the throw over the bails. It's 14 for none. Have a look at that, 160. He's cracked the 160 mark, so Brett Lee means business here today. He's letting it rip, and that was his first over. The next one will be interesting.
You can almost say there'll be a race to get down to McGrath's end, but McGrath is deadly accurate. Just gets that bounce and movement, always roundabout off stump to left-handed and right-handed batsman. All the pressure in this game is on England, of course. It's a must-win situation for them. Australia already qualified.
So got to be a little careful in that area on the offside. We saw Nick Knight run out last time round, badly run out. Glenn McGrath in the World Cup, you can see, is as mean as they come.
Just never gets clattered around, and sometimes you can target a bowler. He's one that you don't seem to target at all. Doesn't allow them to.
Oh, here we go again. Here goes the shot. Oh, I tell you what, he's got to be careful. That was almost a repeat of what happened to him last time round. Hogg coming in there, picking it up left-handed, had a go. It may well have been quite close.
Oh, he's sharp in there. Just be careful with him. What a pick-up. Quick release. Let's see, this is tight. That could have been out with the direct hit. Run out in the last game, Nick Knight. Oh, that's close.
Oh, good bouncer. Yes, Mohammed Kaif got him against India.
Early days of this pitch. I just keep going back to when England played Namibia. It was desperately slow. Now we've got much quicker bowlers in this game with McGrath and Lee, and we may see something different.
Short again, and that time he's got it away nicely. Bickle down there, and what a throw right over the bails.
Reliable guy, Andy Bickle, just comes into this team. Gillespie not playing. He's still troubled by an injury. Doesn't really be any detriment to the team when Bickle comes in. He's a very reliable player. Bats a little as well. Honest performer, Bickle.
Yes, that's the end of the over, and it's 16 for none.
And now for something completely new. For the first time, the World Rally Championship encounters the scorching valleys and freezing mountains of Turkey. See all the highlights, 7:30 Wednesday night on Fox Sports 1.
This classic Ashes moment on Fox Sports is brought to you by Hahn.
It's a delightful stroke. Done it again. It's there to be hit. There it goes again.
There it is. He punches the air with delight, and why not? That's been a brilliant 100. Brilliant.
Enjoy a Hahn Premium Light during the cricket.
So there it is, 16 without loss. England have won the toss. They're batting first here in Port Elizabeth, and Trescothick and Knight, their opening partnership, have got them off to a reasonably decent start. This is Brett Lee again. He bowled a very fast over. That first over got up to 160, and of course the fastest ball recorded in recent times was that Shoaib Akhtar delivery against England, 161.3, and that was in Cape Town. And that was bowled to Nick Knight, so perhaps he's going to be on the end of another one.
This guy's a better bowler. He's more accurate, he's more straight. Real athletic performer. Certainly is. This is full on already, this accusation now and again against Australia that when they've qualified they just back off. I don't think we're going to see that today.
That's in the air, that's six, what a shot! Oh, it's on the roof and out of the ground. Not a very long boundary down at fine leg. He helped that thunderbolt on its way. It whistled away onto the roof.
154 Ks, he gets into position brilliantly here, Trescothick. Whips the ball away. Really fine. It's not the longest boundary down there. It's on the roof. He's out of here. We'll need a new one.
Yes, all you've got to do is get it reasonably in the middle of the bat. And away she goes. Yes, he didn't enjoy that. That's not a look you see on Brett Lee's face all that often.
Trescothick 15 from 10. 3 fours in the 6 for England in this 22.
And into the slot. Not quite off the middle of the bat. A couple more to Trescothick. He's looking pretty good at the moment, 17 off 11.
Well, you can taste it out there. There's great expectation. Here's that 6 again, banged in, asking the question. Here's the answer. It's a terrific shot from Trescothick. Climbs into this. Look where the ball goes. On the hot tin roof, into the road.
Thinking about it, and Knight taking quite a long time to turn around and get back. As it looks as if they're looking for these ones. They've just got to be a little bit circumspect, to be a little careful, or watch the fielders. I think that Knight may have misread the fact that Hogg is a left-hander when he nearly got himself run out just a little while back.
Well, they've got terrific fielders either side. They're a very mobile team, Australia. Potential for run-outs all around. Particularly the fielders on the square. Simons is a magnificent fielder. Hogg, Ponting.
Trescothick so far in the series, he's bowled out by Schifferle in the first match. That's how it happened, going for the big one. In the next match he was caught. This one just flicked away on the onside. Then Wasim whipped into the action and got him caught behind. And then of course it was here. Tendulkar took the catch just behind square. So those are his dismissals so far in the World Cup.
Yeah, he's a good player out to Nick. Just needs a score in this game. He started well.
Just a little bit straight at the moment, Brett Lee. It's 24 for no wicket. This start has created or forced a change out of McGrath. He's now decided to go around the wicket. Bowling tonight. Straight to the fieldsman. Hogg right in the line of that one.
I'll tell you, this looks a different pitch altogether to the last one. It didn't get stump high, it didn't get half stump high. These are quicker bowlers, of course. McGrath's quite tall. But it looks to be coming onto the back nicely. The ball's hard, it's new. May just be in that situation to take advantage of the first 15 overs. But both these batsmen, Knight and Trescothick, look confident.
Oh, and he's got that away as well. They're not going to die wondering as far as the hook shot's concerned. They're going to get stuck right into them today. So once again, Bickle getting that one back.
Well, it's official. It's a different pitch. You couldn't have got that one as high as that in that other game if you'd have bowled it from 13 yards. This is different. There's a little bit of pace in this. High ball.
And that beats the outside edge. Well, I think that's probably the first one that's legitimately beaten the outside edge to a shot, to a defensive shot anyhow.
Field change as well. There's that Pool A table. Australia sitting pretty at the top. India doing well. England versus Australia. Must-win situation here to get up to 16 points. And then it's a scrap. Scrapping for that third position. Now that fielding change, 2 slips has now been moved to 1 slip and a gully. It's a better position really for Trescothick. Just likes to angle the bat and just run the ball down to third man, which has been his undoing lots and lots of times when he's just stands firm-footed at the crease.
Well, there they go. That's well done. Very well played and a good response from the non-striker there. Trescothick getting away nice and quickly.
That's the benefit of playing together for so often. It's just a look in each other's eyes. There wouldn't be much of a call there. Plays it really softly and they're away.
Well, England won the toss and they've got off to a good start. Oh, and down to the boundary. Well, that's what happens. That would have been through third slip. So Ponting has taken himself away from second. He's gone to the gully, and that one has flown through the gap. 30 for none. Ronnie. This is Brett Lee. Straight to the fieldsman.
Gosh, he crunches away, doesn't it? Find the middle of the bat at this pace. 157 Ks from Brett Lee. And I think it's quite obvious that England have won the toss and said, OK, we've got to win this game. How do we win it? Well, we'll take Australia on. Forget the reputations, forget Lee, forget McGrath. Let's take them on, get as many runs as we can first innings, get runs on the board. Try to disturb them if you can. Nice, they don't get disturbed too often.
Yes, well, Australia have won the last 13 matches between these two sides. Oh, and Brett Lee's quick and has a little go with his foot. But I think Nick Knight that time was going to be there anyhow.
Wrong game for Brett. Usually say a sweep left foot. This is nothing like one. It's that soft little dink down into the leg side. Here he comes. No, it's not his game. Oh, bring the sub on, number 12.
It's just getting back to the way England can beat Australia. In fact, I think it probably applies to most of the sides that are involved in this World Cup, all of them. If you can bat first and you can post a decent score, get something in excess of 250, put some pressure in this case, might even 240 might be okay. Just a decent score and then put their batting under a bit of pressure. That's the way. Well played. Nicely tucked away on the onside. Using the pace of the ball.
They've made great play once again, Australia. They're all the top of the league and they've qualified already. They just want to carry on winning. There's an accusation that when they do get to the top and things are going well and they qualify, that they back off. There's always been that reputation, particularly in test matches. Been a great play in this game that we're going for the win. We just want to carry on winning, keep the momentum going. Fastest 160. That's quick from 22 yards. That really is. It's quick from here.
About 0.4 of a second to make up your mind what to do. Again, McGrath will cut that one off. He is right back on the line because we've already seen a 6, a magnificent shot, smashed over the top of his head into the street outside.
It's a good-looking pitch, does this. Just maybe a suggestion of some moisture underneath, but it's a dry surface on top. Just from that angle there, it looks a good-looking pitch. You get confidence from it as a batsman and saying straight away, OK, we'll have a bat.
Down the leg side. Yes, they don't often get it wrong. That was definitely one that should have been picked off, and the crowd there getting behind the England cause, wanting a wide called.
Yeah, there must be no wides today. Here we are, just have a look at this. Oh, he just clips his pad. No, he's fine. It's good enough. It's me being English.
And that's a good ball. That's a very good ball. It's gone flying away over the top of Ponting. It's a no ball anyhow. Oh boy, that one certainly did take off. Hit the edge and went over the top of Ponting at second slip.
It flew, absolutely flew to the boundary, and it will do at this sort of pace. 2 slips in position and nobody moved. Just aiming this ball on the leg side. Races away.
So have a look at that that last delivery, 160.7. He's certainly getting pretty close to that show back to delivery of 161.3. Oh, he's had a little flirt at that and missed. Through to the keeper, 39 for none. England off to a great start. Trescothick on 23, Knight on 14. Have a look at that run rate, 6.5. McGrath, he'll be trying to slow things down here a little bit. Oh boy, there we go. Over-pitched and caressed down the ground. Don't worry about that one. It's gone for 4 as well. A big roar goes up. The Barmy Army are enjoying this.
There's a heck of a row out there. Just look at these guys. It's boundary time for England. 6 4s, 1 6. 43 without loss. We're just starting the 7th over. McGrath over pitches. And defined in the middle of the bat. So important. Get it in the middle of the bat. I think we could see a high-scoring game. This is a fast outfield. Good look down this pitch. You can see it's just cracked here and there. It does look a dry surface. There may be some moisture underneath, but as yet we've not seen any movement off the seam. The ball's not swung at all either. It just looked from there. It's just telling you as a captain, yeah, we'll have a bat. Get some runs on the board.
Absolutely, and don't forget too, a win here, especially if both these sides go through, creates a situation where those 4 points are carried through to the next stage. Very important. Straight to the fieldsman that time. Lehman into the action there. He could be pretty important for Australia today.
It's a bit early days as yet, but it may be that just as this game carries on, that the slower bowlers will come more and more into it, just taking the pace off the ball. As we've seen now, McGrath getting clattered around. Brett Lee as well. Brett Lee 3 overs and over 22.
And Lehman falling in behind that one. Back for the second. The runs are coming thick and fast.
Not the fastest in Australia's side, Darren Lehman. Just 2 fielders on that leg side, and he's around the crease here, Nick Knight. He's moving around. What he's trying to do is disturb McGrath. If he can disturb McGrath, just get inside his mind, let him do something different. Runs are flowing. He's going for a few.
Oh, nice placement. And comfortably through for a single. Not only 4s, singles, 2s, you name it. It's all happening.
7 off the over so far. Well, who'd have thought it? Coming to the end of the 7th over, England 46 without loss. He's not ticking yet. He can get ticking, McGrath. He can tick big time.
He'll start ticking in a minute. Don't you worry about that. No slips in position now, just a gully. Very, very seldom see this situation. It tells you a little bit about the pitch. It's 46 for none. Seven overs been bowled, 46 without loss. Trescothick on 23 and Knight on 21. And to take over the commentary now, David Gower, and with him is Mark Taylor.
Brett Lee starts with a short one. Good start here for England. 46 without loss into the 8th over. Brett Lee bowling quick. He's still going for plenty of runs, and Jason Gillespie out of the Australian side at the moment. Problem with his Achilles on his right heel, we believe. It will be a worry for the Australians. He's been bowling beautifully in this tournament so far. And he is a loss, particularly when you play against England, because he's got a good record. And against Marcus Trescothick, he's picked him up a number of times in one-day cricket and test match cricket. Oh, that's beautifully hit. This time it's in front of square, and the 50 comes up in very nice fashion. That's a lovely shot.
Well, it's all looked very different for England this morning. Some unfamiliar sights in terms of Australia versus England. And this is one of them. Boundaries flowing. Both Nick Knight and Marcus Trescothick have been very quick onto the pull shot this morning. It's looking good.
None of these buttons got in.
Just the one this time. Yet another no ball. Both last deliveries were no balls. Brett Lee just overstepping. And I think his enthusiasm, firstly, to get the ball down as quickly as he can, but secondly, to do something about the way Knight Trescothick have set off this morning. Both of them are scoring at a run a ball or better.
Well, there's no doubt the Australian tactics in this World Cup have been to bowl a lot shorter than most other sides. We saw yesterday Shoaib Akhtar bowling to Sachin Tendulkar, and he tried to bowl the ball up there, and Tendulkar just kept hitting through the line. I think Lee, McGrath and Gillespie have tried to bowl much shorter, but in this game so far we've seen Knight and Trescothick play square of the wicket, play their hooks and the pull shots, and that's worrying the Australians at the moment.
I think the pace of the pitch has suited them. just an easy-paced but a very consistent bounce sort of pitch. A little bit of something there for Brett Lee. It's amazing actually for me to see Marcus Trescothick in such good form today, simply because everything we've seen really over the last few weeks, the evidence has pointed to him being out of shape, out of form, out of touch, out of luck. And I suppose every batsman clings to the hope that one day, when you're in that sort of form, it'll suddenly come right. And at the moment, that is what's happening for Marcus Trescothick today. 23 runs he's got from 25 balls. Tabbed away. That's very much a strength and a weakness for Marcus Trescothick, that shot. When it comes off like that, it looks like artistry. When it ends up in the keeper's gloves, another word springs to mind.
So on that occasion, he seems to be hitting down on the ball much more. It's when he plays that shot as almost as a last resort. And that time the knees were nicely bent. He was hitting down on the ball. He was in control of the shot. At times you see him on the crease and flicking at the ball, and that's when he generally gets the edge.
Nicely played. McGrath coming round from long leg. Another single down to third man makes it a productive over, including all those no balls. 11 runs from the over. It's 57 without loss. Well, it's a good enough start, isn't it, Mark? England, despite the history of recent meetings, despite maybe feeling that they're slightly second-class citizens when it comes to playing Australia, have come out fighting.
We would never think that, David. You know that. No, it's better than that.
Yeah, let's not talk about history, eh? But no, England were talking before the game about ignoring everything that's gone before, being positive about the day itself, believing they can win. So far, they've shown signs of it. McGrath back over the wicket with Trescothick on 24, Knight on 29. Actually, one thing it'll be interesting to see is once this ball gets a bit older, so far it seems to come onto the bat rather nicely. Every time I've been here before to St George's Park, the wicket has tended to play slower and lower as each innings wears on. So if you can get in there while the ball is new and get into your stride, that's the time really where the ball's going to go off the bat best. Good delivery, fine delivery.
It's a much better length from Glenn McGrath. On this occasion he's got Knight coming forward or thinking about coming forward. Call on the crease. A little bit of sideways movement. That's where he needs to bowl much more. Glenn McGrath so far a bit too short. I've got a feeling this is going to be a very high scoring game though, this one. We'll go back to a match Australia played last year here against South Africa.
Now there are a lot of men on the offside there. Not always easy to find a way through, and when you do, just the one. Yeah, sorry, going back to the match you were talking about.
I was talking to a few of the Australians this morning. They remember playing here last year on a tour to South Africa, and I think South Africa made about 326. In fact, Australia chased them down, 7 down, so 650 odd runs in that game. I feel this could be something similar today. Quick outfield, very short boundaries.
So what you're saying basically is, although England seem to be starting well, you're retaining that air of confidence. Whatever they get, Australia will feel up to the challenge of chasing it.
I think the Australians will be thinking that way for sure. I'm not suggesting for a minute it's a fait accompli. I think England, they continue to play the way they're playing at the moment.
Just over the top. Well, it was inches away from being what would have been a spectacular catch. Damien Martin was in exactly the right position. All bar, I suppose had he been another 6 inches taller, that might just have helped.
Once again, it's a good shot though. It's not quite out of the middle from Trescothick. He's being positive, and he's being, well, I suppose the luck is running his way because he is being positive.
Well, that's positive. That's as simple as it gets. Length delivery from round the wicket. Simple swing of the bat. Off it goes for 4. It's another 9 from the over. Run rate is 7.33 at 66 without loss. Chart which shows you all the 4s, the yellow bars, the 1-6. Trescothick over long leg off Brett Lee. So a good percentage of boundaries there. 9 4s, 1-6, boundaries 63.6%. Out of the opening 66 without loss after 9. Time for a change. Andy Bickle will bowl now from the duck pond end.
There's the zoomer of that one went over Damien Martin's head. Well, it was probably 15, 20 centimetres over his hand. Certainly can't classify it as a chance. 63% of runs scored in boundaries. I think you're going to see a lot of that today. The outfield here is very quick, and the boundaries, particularly towards this Park Drive end, certainly short, and it also runs downhill. As Andrew Bickle is running downhill now.
Good start from Bickle, right on the mark with his first delivery. Well, all those boundaries involve a certain amount of stroke play, that is for sure. Right from the start. Nice bit of timing from Nick Knight. A wonderful hook shot from Mark Trescothick. A bit of luck. Still goes to the boundary for 4. And again, just enough timing there from that low full toss to get that through. But the approach has been positive. Having spoken to Nick Knight before the game, it was just that air of an attitude with him and the rest of the team saying, OK, we might have lost against Australia in the last few meetings. A few might be a slight understatement. But today is another day, and you approach it like any other day. It starts and finishes. Can't do anything about that. You just try and do your best. If you get off to a good start, you try and make the most of it. Half-hearted appeal from Andy Bickle. Not much support from Gilchrist behind the stumps. Certainly no support from the umpire. That's Russell Tiffin.
The England batsmen have done the right thing so far. They've been positive, scoring at nearly 7 runs per over. One pitching on or about leg stump. Tough to give that though, and also very high, so only a half shout from the Australians. Now they've got to go on. Someone's got to make a big score.
Simple, very simple, but not out. It looks like a regulation chance from behind just then. It's actually deflected, I think, in that case, off the thigh.
Well, the question will be, was there 2 noises? It certainly hit the pad. It went in between bat and pad, I think. Just have come back fractionally. certainly hit the pad flap on the front leg or maybe the back thigh, but Australians were thinking of the opinion that there was two noises, and there may well have been. There may well have been pad flap and back thigh, but I'm pretty sure there was no inside edge there.
Even more simple. That's very straightforward. There's no doubt about that at all. Damien Martin in that wide slip position, just had a dive away to his left, but he always had that catch under control.
Well, it's a good piece of captaincy to start with from Ricky Potting to make a change. Bickle once again has picked up a wicket in his first over. Picked up 2 wickets the other day against Namibia in his first over. Now he's got Knight. Also a very good catch from Damien Martin. Was looping away from him. He came a lot slower than you expect in that position. Kept his eye on it, let him go past, and then caught it nicely. That's a good start for Nick Knight. 30 from 33, England 66 for 1.
Peter O'Malley returns to Christchurch to defend his title against a quality international field on one of the toughest courses in New Zealand. Exclusively live, the Clearwater Classic starts Thursday afternoon, 12:30, Fox Sports 1. See Australia take on the Calypso Kings, the West Indies, for the Frank Worrell Trophy on Fox Sports. Or even better, you can tour with Alan Border in the West Indies in April 2003. Gulliver's Sports Travel are delighted to offer a choice of 2 fantastic tours visiting the Caribbean islands of Trinidad and Tobago, St. Lucia, Barbados and Antigua. Call Gulliver's Sports Travel today on 073511 6466.
It's time for...
Minor premiers, the Sydney Kings travel to the Tigers cage in Melbourne for the first exciting tip-off in the NBL playoffs. The Tigers take on the Kings, 7:30 Saturday, Fox Sports 1.
Michael Vaughan is the new man at the crease, taking over from Nick Knight. Knight going for 30. And we've got 1 ball left of this 10th over. Very good over from Andy Bickle. A maiden so far, a wicket from the 5th ball. And Michael Vaughan straight away off the mark. But the bowling change has done what it was designed to do. 67 for 1 after 10. Bickle brought into the attack to change things round, and this is how he did it. A little bit of movement, and the movement took the ball away from Nick Knight. By the time he made contact, his bat was some way outside the eye line, but he picked him out. Damien Martin made very safe, very sure of the catch. Bickle able to celebrate. And Australia needed that. McGrath and Lee had been expensive in those opening 9 overs. Ponting made the change. He's got exactly what he wanted. McGrath will continue now. And he'll have Michael Vaughan in his sights. Now, one quick change in the field, which reflects the way Michael Vaughan has played against Glenn McGrath over the last few months. Long leg just coming up into the circle. Deep square leg has gone out onto the boundary. McGrath snipping that back at Michael Vaughan.
So Michael Vaughan, only 25 one-day internationals and a higher score of 63. It's right at the start, really, of his international one-day career. And at the moment, his career stats don't illustrate how good a player Michael Vaughan is. I think England are going to continue to progress in this series and give it a shake, I suppose. That's a little bit too high. I think they need Michael Vaughan to step up and make 100. I believe that one of these 2 batsmen, Trescothick, has got to start. He's already on 32, and Michael Vaughan, who is England's best player, to my way of thinking, one of these 2 need to make 100.
Yeah, Michael Vaughan, on the evidence of his test match batting, is England's #1 player. His supreme talent, supreme confidence, and an ability to take on the best in the world. As yet, as you say, he hasn't got a big score in one-day internationals, whereas Trescothick and Knight, who's just been out, both of them have a history of making hundreds. Having said all that, it has to be just a matter of time, surely. Someone of the talent of Michael Vaughan and the confidence. And just there's a comparison there for you between the one-day international career and his test career, which basically double everything. Certainly the average, 24 as against 50. Best so far in one-day internationals of 63. Test career kept making a nasty problem getting out in the 190s, didn't he? Which of course is a huge worry to any batsman.
Yes, the Australians got him under wraps. We kept him down to 177 and about 143, I think it was. He certainly is a quality player, Michael Vaughan. I think also you look at those figures together, 28 test matches already, you're well into your career as a test match player. 25 one-day matches is really right at the start of your career. Sachin Tendulkar, I think, has played 310, so he still has a long way to go and plenty of innings in front of him. And he's still trying, I suppose, finding his feet in one-day cricket. But I think he just needs one good score. 100 and away he'll go.
Yeah, he's made 5 50s in those 26 matches. And it is one of the tenets of the one-day game that if you get to 50, your team will benefit far more if you can use that platform and make it into a far bigger score. That's a fine shot. Masters 4. Poor delivery really from McGrath. He should have realised by now there's not much pace in this pitch. To 72 for 1. 11 overs bowled. This for England is a fine start. 72 for 1. Trescothick leading the way today. Run rate at the moment just under 7s. Beautifully bowled. That is a fine delivery from Andy Bickle. Michael Vaughan just hung around long enough to see whether or not the finger would go up. And eventually Russell Tiffin made the decision, which means that Michael Vaughan now has that long walk back to the England dressing room.
Certainly is a fine delivery from Andrew Bickle, and lots of good news for Australia with Jason Gillespie out of the side. That is a beauty. Andrew Bickle probably wouldn't have played this game if Gillespie was fit, and now he's got 2 wickets. He's got Knight, and now he's got the danger man, Michael Vaughan, out for 2. England 72 for 2.
This week from the Premier League, the action kicks off tomorrow morning 6:55. Steve Bruce and his Blues look to inflict more pain on Taylor's Villa, who won't forget their last meeting back in September. Then on Thursday, LTEL's Leeds make the trip to Old Trafford, but Manchester United will be ready for battle as they look to keep the title race alive.
Solskjaer! Robbery again from Manchester United!
Tomorrow morning, Aston Villa, Birmingham. Thursday, Man United, Leeds.
Now's the time to buy from Harvey Norman and receive 15 months interest-free. You pay no deposit, no interest, and no repayments till 2004. What an incredible deal! You get 15 months interest-free. Available in furniture, bedding, electrical, computers, and much more. This is an offer not to be missed. No repayments till 2004 for a limited time only. No deposit, 15 months interest-free, and no repayments till 2004. Minimum purchase $500. Conditions apply. See store for details.
Gilchrist hammers the Aussie bowlers again. That'll be straight over his head and 6 to bring up his century. Oh, what a massacre.
This weekend on Fox Sports, we're down to the business end of the NBL season.
That grabs the attention of the fans.
Round 1, game 1 of the finals tips off 7:30 Saturday. Live.
The Australians are alive and well here.
The ICC Cricket World Cup 2003 moves into the Super 6 stage live. Plus 6 more sensational games from the Super 12s, including the explosive clash between the Blues and the Crusaders. Look at this weekend on Fox Sports.
Well, 2 quick wickets falling just to put the brakes on England now. Hussain is the man out at number 4. Andy Bickle is the man who's shown everyone how to do it today in terms of Australia's bowling. Lee expensive, McGrath expensive, but Bickle's figures so far, 1.1 overs, no maidens, 2 wickets and 1 run is all he's conceded so far. Hussain's been a little out of sorts in his one-day matches, really in Australia and now in his World Cup. Scores of only 8 and 15 so far in the World Cup. So he is either due a score, or would certainly appreciate one. Here's another look at what was a fine delivery. Just a thin tickle from Michael Vaughan. That's why he just thought he might hang around and see if the umpire had spotted it. But Bickle had spotted it. Gilchrist had spotted it. Michael Vaughan must have known it. Just enough movement away from the right-hander to take the edge. Hussain is off the mark.
Well, Andrew Bickle only bowled 1 over in Australia's last match, and that was against Namibia at Potchefstroom. Bowled a couple of absolute superb deliveries to a couple of tail order batsmen from Namibia, and got 2 wickets. A bit like that, and I felt at the time that they were fantastic deliveries, and probably you had no idea of how good they were. When you're bowling to the tail order of Namibia, you're never sure exactly how well they're going to play the outswinger. When you bowl one to Michael Vaughan and he gets an edge, you know you're bowling well.
Well, his World Cup so far has involved matches against Holland and, as you say, Namibia. So for the first time in this competition, he comes up against one of the major test-playing nations and can prove to all concerned that he can do exactly what he did against those 2 tail-enders for Namibia against the top order now of England, and it's proving to be very, very important.
Well, the ball's 12 overs old. Bickle's still getting some swing and just the right amount. Good healthy edge. Michael Vaughan there probably just caught on the crease, which can happen when you've only faced a handful of deliveries. If you can swing it away, as Andrew Bickle is, you can get some success, and he's had some success so far. Andrew Bickle in the games he's played. And as I mentioned, Jason Gillespie's still injured. Australia may well need him.
Wonderful bowling from Andy Bickle. This has changed the game round entirely. After the heady days of those opening 9 or 10 overs for England, the scoreline is now starting to take on rather more familiar tones. 74 for 3 it is, as Hussain is on his way back.
Another outstanding delivery. Late outswinger from Andrew Bickle. He's now got Knight, Vaughan, and now the captain, Nasser Hussain. Superb spell so far for Bickle. He's got 3 for 3, and England are 74 for 3.
New Zealand's final shot at the Super Sixes.
Another blunder.
Their vital clash against Canada.
He goes to 100 with the most magnificent 6.
Live, New Zealand-Canada, tonight from 7, Fox Sports 2.
This classic Ashes moment on Fox Sports is brought to you by Hahn.
And that's a lovely stroke from Border once again.
Here it is. Wonderful innings from just about the most durable cricketer you could ever imagine, Alan Border.
Enjoy a Hahn Premium Light during the cricket.
Fletcher here, captain of the mighty Rabbitohs.
We're in for a very big season.
And we need you, the fans, to be part of it.
And we need your support by becoming a member of the club. Join now and enjoy the benefit. Reaffirm your loyalty and your passion. Call South on this number or go to our website.
It seems is heading down to Redfern to support the team.
Go South Sydney!
Alex Stewart replacing the England captain. 3 wickets have gone down now for just 8 runs in the space of 14 deliveries. England facing something of a crisis here at St George's Park. Wicket of Hussain came off the final delivery of Andy Bickle's second over. Bickle now has figures of 3 for 3. McGrath, number 38.
Bickle's spell has been superb. There's only about that, only 2 overs, 3 for 3. It's also the way he's bowling. He's pitching the ball up. He's getting some late outswing. Saw the one that got Michael Vaughan, caught him on the crease. Well, that one caught Nasser Hussain on the crease as well. Straightened down the line of off stump, hit the top of off. Shades of the Adelaide Test match there for Andrew Bickle.
There goes another one. This is a real purple patch for the Australians. Even Marcus Trescothick, who seemed oblivious to what was going on at the other end, has now found that he too is forced to make that walk back. Caught by that man Damien Martin in the wide slip position. Everything now is going towards Australia.
Not really sure what Marcus Trescothick was trying here. England is still scoring at 6 runs per over. It's time for consolidation. And unfortunately for England, it's time for another wicket. McGrath's got his first one, and England have now slumped to 74 for 4.
This March, from the 1st to the 31st, Fox Sports comes alive with live sport every day throughout the month.
What a game this is proving to be!
An incredible 400 hours of live sport in March.
Thank you for coming!
Who else but Fox Sports can bring you this much sport? The NRL, the Cricket World Cup, the Vodafone Super 12, the NBL, the USPGA, the Superbike World Championship, the English Premier League, the ATP Masters Series, the Australian Swimming Championships, and so much more live. Rugby League, NRL, from the beginning to the end, Fox Sports will be there with every game from every round, including at least 3 live games every week.
And they've done it again!
No one else gives you this much footy. Cricket, our unbeatable live coverage from the ICC World Cup continues throughout March.
This is wonderful stuff.
And only Fox Sports brings you every ball from every match. Rugby Union. 25 live games from the Vodafone Super 12 throughout the month.
Yes, there's no doubt about that.
Including the Waratahs clash with the Reds. Basketball. The NBL season reaches the playoffs. And Fox Sports is bringing you the semi-finals live.
Oh, an absolute thriller.
Motorsport. March sees the World Superbike Championship rip back into pole position. Fox Sports will be there, including round 2 live from Phillip Island. Soccer. Our unbeatable live coverage from the English Premier League continues throughout March, including Liverpool Leeds. And Arsenal up against Everton. That's 31 days of live sport. On average, 13 hours live every day.
And he's hit that straight down the ground. That's a great hit. Oh, that's a beauty.
What an incredible month of sport. This March, only on Fox Sports.
There is yet another new batsman out there now for England. Paul Collingwood it is now at number 6. 4 wickets have fallen now for the same 8 runs in 16 deliveries, and it's Glenn McGrath who's got his name now on the wicket takers list. All the action had previously been at the other end with Andy Bickle, the wicket taker, but Trescothick just shuffling down the pitch a little bit, and the edge finding Damien Martin yet again in fine catching form, that wide slip position. Perfectly placed for it.
Guess we'll spare a thought for Marcus Trescothick as well. He's played well. He's had a bit of a dry run with the bat, and he's got 37 from 36 balls, and then he edges one, and he goes straight to the floating man. And any other day, that ball could go between Cooper and Damien Martin, who was feeling it about second slip or second and a half slip, whatever you want to call it. He goes away for 4. Today, straight to him, and he's the 4th wicket down. It's always a worry, I believe, when you start moving your slips around. At the moment, Australia have got 2 orthodox slips in, but this is the Trescothick wicket. Big, healthy edge. And Martin's in about, second slip, almost 3rd slip. It's gone straight to him. It's a lovely game sometimes when you're a captain and it works like that for Ricky Ponting.
Well, it's a wicket maiden for Glenn McGrath's first maiden of the innings. It's 74 for 4 after 13. Run rate has dropped. All those productive overs at the start of the innings have disappeared. Now the wickets have started to fall. It's 74 for 4 after 13. Time for a change in the commentary box, where it will now be Ian Botham with Richie Bennett.
Thanks, David. Welcome to everyone, no matter where you may be and what time of the day it may be. There'll be some Andy Bickle fans up in the Brisbane area. Been watching this with avid interest. Brilliant performance. First one, Nick Knight and Damien Martin getting away there very quickly. It was a good catch. Michael Vaughan, the faintest tickle. A beauty, Vanessa was saying. You wouldn't imagine the ball could get through. It's a wonderful leg cutter, hint of outswing as well. Yeah, he's got 3, and a very good morning to Ian Botham.
Morning, Richie. Morning, everyone. I have to say, though, Richie, just sat at the back of the box there watching that first hour's play. I was amazed how long it took the Australian bowlers to work out the length of the bowl. I felt they bowled too short. And Andy Bickle came into the attack. And Glenn McGrath, it's very unusual for him, but Andy Bickle came up, pitched the ball up, and things started happening. I think there's a bit in that wicket, but we've seen a few great deliveries. Andy Bickle's got the ball to seam, swing. From being in a very healthy position, suddenly there's a lot of work to be done for England.
Well, it all started so they'd spent most of the night dreaming about Tendulkar. Those 2 left-handers, Trescothick and Knight, when they went out there, they just creamed the Australian bowlers all over the place. So always the chance of a fight back with the Australians. Someone generally gets it right. In this case, it happens to be Andy Bickle, who's a much underrated cricketer.
I can certainly say that the boys at Worcester, who had a good time with Andy Bickle there as their overseas player, thought he was an exceptional person. And also, as you say quite rightly, highly underrated at times by the Australians as a player. Doesn't give much away.
Close. One of the problems with Andy Bickle is there's not much room for him. With only 90 overs to be bowled in the day, the Australians have been getting through with 4-man bowlers. Another good movement away there for Bickle. Yes, with Warne and McGrath, the great wicket takers, Bickle's been on the fringes and he finds it very difficult to break through, but that's the reason that only 90 overs in the day and they can't have the extra bowler. sharp single and off the mark, 75 for 4. Nice to see an away swing bowler do well. I think there are plenty of in-swing bowlers around, but to see an away swing bowler do it is great.
Yeah, it's sort of become a forgotten trade. Not quite why, whether it was a lot to do with the reverse swing and bowlers bowling at full in one-day cricket, I'm not quite sure, but it's great to see. And Andy Bickle, I have to say, most test sides he'd get into.
McGrath is generally the hero of the Australian side today. Length and a little bit of width astray. That bottom line, people talk about the bottom line. It's always very important in various areas, and that one is too. 3 overs and 3 wickets for Andy Bickle. McGrath chipped in. Now, it's remarkable how many occasions someone at the other end taking a wicket will inspire you. Pitch itself, what do you reckon, Ian?
Well, I wasn't sure at the pitch report. I have to say, I went out there with Ian Healy, and it seemed to be quite a bit of moisture where they took the stump out of the ground in that area. So I actually said I thought it was probably a toss you wouldn't mind losing. And we'll wait and see how this wicket goes, but they tend to get flatter and lower, maybe a little slower as the games have gone on. But they're bowling a much better length now, Australian bowlers, and just has that look as if there was a bit there, a little bit of moisture, a little bit of dampness, just something that the seam could grip on. I think it just took the Australians a little while to work out the length of the bowl. When they pitched it up, it caused problems. That's what Andy Bickle does.
You're talking about the fact that he plays with Worcestershire now. About 100 there as well.
Oh, we did a couple of games there for Sky in the one-day Norwich Union League, and he was up there opening the batting 70s and 80s and couldn't keep him out of the game. It was almost like the old League Pro, take the hat round at half-time and make a donation. He was involved in everything.
His own towel, his own water down there. The busiest boy on the field so far for the Australians has been Nathan Horace, the 12th man. He's run what I'd estimate to be around about 3/4 of a mile when all of a sudden those wickets fell. He'd been out a couple of times previously, and then there came the dash carrying 2 lots of drinks and a towel over his arm. And I reckon it's about 200, 250 yards in all he was doing, circling around out there. New experience for him.
And it's pretty warm.
$75 for 4.
This classic Ashes moment on Fox Sports is brought to you by Hahn.
Hold him. That's a good delivery. Middle stump out of the ground. It's out. First ball.
And he's out, LBW. Dennis Lilly looking again for his 5th wicket in this innings. And he's got it.
Enjoy a Hahn Premium Light during the cricket.
There are sports, and there are extreme sports. Just like there are compact 4-wheel drives. And there's the Nissan X-Trail. Its revolutionary all-mode 4-wheel drive system lets you switch between 2-wheel drive and 4-wheel drive at the touch of a button. The X-Trail. Only Nissan takes the compact 4-wheel drive to the extreme.
We're coming home. I'm on my way. We're coming home.
More and more people are coming home to Fujitsu Comfort. It's Australia's favourite air.
See Australia take on the Calypso Kings, the West Indies, for the Frank Worrell Trophy on Fox Sports. Or even better, you can tour with Alan Border in the West Indies in April 2003. Gulliver's Sports Travel are delighted to offer a choice of 2 fantastic tours visiting the Caribbean islands of Trinidad and Tobago, St. Lucia, Barbados and Antigua. Call Gulliver's Sports Travel today on 073511 6466.
Now there's something we should all be doing. That as well. Yep, one of my favourites. Bit of whitewater rafting. Just get those speedboats up on top of the waves. This is a wonderful area for water sports down here in the Port Elizabeth area. Just 4 twirls would be better. Back here at the ground, 75 for 4. Trescothick out for 37, Knight for 30. Vaughan for 2 and Hussain for 1. Hussain got a beauty. Hint of a waist swing and leg cutter as well. Andy Bickle on at the moment, 3 for 4. Umpires today. Russell B. Tiffin, he's the man adjudicating at Andy Bickle's end. And the square leg umpire is Alim Dar from Pakistan. That's absolutely brilliant. Not the slimmest lad around, but he's a very good fielder. A bit deceptive, actually.
I think Darren Lee was working on the theory, I better get it, or else I've got to chase it. And does well. Into the stronger hand. Can't prevent the single, but saved a couple more.
It's one of the 2 men out on the boundary, 2 men on the leg side. Big gap there, but the way Bickle's bowling, no one's going to hit him on the onside. He's got perfect control today. Those days, people talk about getting yourself into a bowling zone. Bickle looks as though he's there now. He's kept almost every ball up to the bat, so the batsman's had to play forward. He's able to bowl to a 7-2 field. The way they started off, Trescothick and Knight, so we were going to be thinking in terms of 260, 270. Could still be, but there's 4 wickets down now. That's a crushing blow to England.
I think realistically the start was somewhat flattering, and I think that was more the bowling. Batting was excellent, it had to be put away, it has to be said that, and magnificent. And those quick wickets, the crowd goes pretty quiet. Pulled away, well actually fetched away. Gets a single, Paul Collingwood. But I think realistically, I think 240 would be, if you can get up to there, means a good partnership somewhere, you'd have a chance.
Just short, but beautifully picked up. It's 80 for 4, 16 gone. It's 80 for 4, 16 overs gone here at Port Elizabeth in this clash between England and Australia. We've had all pace so far. Ricky Ponting has got plenty of imagination. I think that the pace has been successful, that find some way to get Brett Lee back on. Perhaps keep going with McGrath, but instead he's bringing on Bradley Hogg. Something of a new boy on the block. He started playing for Australia again in the Australian season just past. Very interesting young character, and a bit of character about his cricket as well. Left arm unorthodox spinner over the wrist. Bowls a good wrong and a very good flipper. Can bat and he can field. There's no one out there, and it wouldn't matter much. Unless they're 14 feet tall. Now that's a nice start for the batsman.
Good shot, but quite interestingly now, Paul Collingwood is just having a word with the umpire and just saying, hang on a minute, there's 3 people behind on the leg side. And Russell Tippin is in front. Well, I can tell you he's just moved. I've just watched the fielder move. So I think Paul Collingwood played that shot as much as anything, knowing there was, or feeling that there was 3 men behind that leg side. Interesting. Now, what would have happened if they'd gone straight up in the air?
Oh, nice.
That'd be a worse way to get out than having the striker bang one down and the bowler just touch it onto your stumps and you run out as non-striker. But to have the umpire say, oh no, everything's been okay and you've got to go, that would be the worst, I think.
Oh, nice, George.
The man down there is Brett Lee. There's a man at 45 saving one. There's a man then orthodox sweep shot.
Oh!
Big turn.
Come on. More wicket out.
Encouraging.
Yes, he is an interesting bowler. Don't see too many of these around.
Nice.
Spins that orthodox delivery. 86 for 4, 17 gone. For 4. Collingwood's gone to 10 with that 6 that he knew he could have a dash at, but the umpire perhaps wasn't so sure.
Well, still movement away. Pitch does slope from left to right as you look at it, or as you look at it from this angle, from right to left, towards the slips. So it will encourage the away swing and the away movement. Something like that.
It's a lovely exhibition of bowling. Someone who doesn't get all that many opportunities certainly not as many as people in Queensland, Australia would think he deserves. He's just running into a rich vein of form at the moment. Hasn't bowled one short ball in the spell. Everything making the batsman play and hopefully get an edge.
A rare freebie from Andy Bickle, just drifting down the leg side. Impressive spell. That's the way to make an impact. Wicket in your first over, 2 in your second. Only for England's senior player to do, Alex Stewart.
Bradley Hogg, we talk about his fielding a little while ago. He's not only a good fielder, he's very enthusiastic. He's got the job of being the #1 spinner in the Australian side at the moment. Played for Australia in the 1990s and couldn't get it together. His hand technique was absolutely wrong, but he's got it right now. And there is the 5th one. Now, the batsman's not going to be very happy about that. It was something of a wild slash. Bickle had given him a bit of room for the stroke. Collingwood went for it. Poor result.
It's almost the bait ball that's wide. Paul Collingwood's gone for it. Simplest of catches. But you have to give it to Andy Bickle. He's done it again. Paul Collingwood, he's gone for 10. It's 87 for 5.
This week from the Premier League, the action kicks off tomorrow morning 6:55. Steve Bruce and his Blues look to inflict more pain on Taylor's Villa, who won't forget their last meeting back in September. Then on Thursday, LTEL's Leeds make the trip to Old Trafford, but Manchester United will be ready for battle as they look to keep the title race alive.
Robbery again from Manchester United.
Tomorrow morning, Aston Villa, Birmingham. Thursday, Man United, Leeds.
Now's the time to buy from Harvey Norman and receive 15 months interest-free. You pay no deposit, no interest, and no repayments till 2004. What an incredible deal! You get 15 months interest-free. Available in furniture, bedding, electrical, computers, and much more. This is an offer not to be missed. No repayments till 2004 for a limited time only. No deposit, 15 months interest-free, and no repayments till 2004. Minimum purchase $500. Conditions apply. See store for details.
Yorker right in the block hole, well dug out too. Quick run single, well taken. And Glenn McGrath given a huge ovation. He's under real pressure here. 9 for 177 after the valuable wicket of Michael Bevan.
I want to try left-hander today, eh? I want to see right-handers not doing too good, bro.
Yeah, seen better bats in a cave, eh?
This classic Ashes moment on Fox Sports is brought to you by Hahn.
That's a delightful stroke.
Done it again. It's there to be hit. There it goes again.
There it is. He punches the air with delight, and why not? That's been a brilliant 100. Brilliant.
Enjoy a Hahn Premium Light during the cricket.
5 for 21 from 49 balls. That's what's happened to England after a magnificent start from Trescothick and Knight. Partnership of 66 from 62 balls. Now 5 for 21 from 49. Bickle is in there again. He's got 4. New batsman, Andrew Flintoff.
66 for no wicket. 21 for 5.
Well, no wonder the Australians are rushing to Bickle. There's plenty of backslapping going on out there, and every bit of it deserved.
This is the last wicket, Paul Collingwood. One of Andy Bickle's favourite hobbies is fishing, fly fishing. Well, he went fishing, Paul Collingwood there. It was thrown out for him. Had a go at it. Would have fancied it. He'll feel it could have gone anywhere. Well, it's Andy Bickle's day. Went straight to Adam Gilchrist. And he's enjoying it. Magnificent spell. 4 for 10 now from 5 overs.
And then Andy Flintoff and Alex Stewart. Stewart's 3 from 17. He's got the problem of facing Brad Hogg. There's a bit of turn out there. Get the one there. Now, wonder what will be exercising Andy Flintoff's mind. Left arm unorthodox spinner on, small ground.
Well, it'll be interesting to see what Ricky Ponting does as well, Richie. I definitely have a man in his eye line, whether it's on the offside or leg side catching. Silly point, bat pad, leg side, one of those two. Show how well he picks this.
Bowls the orthodox left-hander's delivery over the wrist, which is an off-spinner to the right-hander. Now that one just comes in from outside off stump. Bowls top spinner as well. Bowls a flipper. He bowls an orthodox over-spinner also.
It's the one that goes the other way. Certainly have a man at silly point for Andrew Flintoff. It's just a mind thing. He sees the guy there, he knows if he gets to the inside edge onto the pad and it pops up. He's not off the mark.
If you're not sure which way it's turning, that's the sort of thing that can happen to you. Flintoff wasn't absolutely certain which one that was. To make up his mind, he actually read it off the pitch.
Nice.
88 for 5 off 19. Overs gone here at Port Elizabeth. 88 for 5. Tony Gregg's come into the commentary box now, and with him is Ian Healy.
Thank you, Richie. This is Andy Bickle, who's bowled absolutely superbly today. 4 for 10 off 5 overs. It does not get much better than that. And he's done it right from the word go. It's amazing. He gets opportunities every now and again as a result of injuries, and he never, ever lets Australia down. One of your lot, Heels.
Certainly is, from Queensland. I've had 2 phone calls already from Queenslanders wanting me to wish him even more luck when I get to see him this afternoon. But yeah, he's a delight. He's a delight around the team. He stays fit and he stays in form even when he's not playing.
Well, there'll be a big audience down in Australia at the moment, 8:30 in the evening in Australia, and of course England not far off the South African time zone, so they'll all be plugged into this as well, and they would have been, well, they'd have been pretty happy with the start. They started really well. England got off to a flyer here today, but unfortunately things have gone awry. 88 for 5, and we're only in the 19th, and we're in the 20th.
Stewart quite often has come to the party when the chips are down. Flintoff, we know, if it's his day, is capable of some special things. He's a wonderful striker of the ball.
Some Brisbane people in the crowd from Bris Vegas. Certainly no worries at the moment, the Australians.
That's good running. They've got to keep these singles coming. Yes, let's have a look at Andy Bickle's wickets. For those of you who haven't seen them, these are they.
First one, Nick Knight in his first over. Damien Martin positioned well, then a beauty. Michael Vaughan, a big wicket. All these are big wickets, especially with England with the momentum of the match. And then Nasser Hussain's off-stump knocked back. We remember he did that in Adelaide in the Test match, the last over of the day, and that to me is another big wicket. Collingwood had a tremendous series against them in the VB series in the summer, and that's why they showed so much delight with the dismissal of Collingwood. Now it's Andy Flintoff, who's only batted once against Australia, to show what he can do.
So a little bit of ducking and weaving. It will happen, I think, this to Flintoff. They'll give him a few short deliveries. There we are. That innings of his against India, very useful, 64 of 73. You can see he scores his runs fast. He doesn't mess around when he gets going, but he needs a start. Seven balls and he's not off the mark yet, so this is a conservative start for him. There we go, that's a single. At the end of the over, it's 90 for 5.
Greggy, before this game, Andy Bickle had 5 wickets in this World Cup at 2.6. What's it going to be now? He's got 4 for 12. We'll work out that average for everyone.
Yeah, the question's going to arise shortly is, do they pick him in the #1 side?
I think a lot of Englishmen breathed a sigh of relief when Gillespie wasn't available for this match, but maybe they've underestimated Bickle, who's bowled a better length than both Lee and McGrath.
Right, so 90 for 5, run rate 4.5. Hogg. Oh, he tossed that one up nicely. Gave that a bit more air, inviting the big booming hit. And we know that if Flintoff goes after it and hits it, this ground won't be big enough.
The Australians have got themselves into the position where they won't mind him trying.
Tossed that one up a little bit. Now, he hasn't given him the wrong one yet. He hasn't slipped one in which goes the other way. The slip is in position. They're holding him up a little bit, not allowing him to bowl his balls quickly.
Nice, George.
7 dot balls. Andy Flintoff. The Australians be giving him a touch of advice here and there, saying, come on, we've heard you can hit the ball out of the ground. When are you going to try? They know they've gone 5 for 90, much better than him coming in at 5 for 290 or 190.
There's an effort at getting it away through the infield. What are you saying? They'll be sledging him?
No, they'll be helping him. Oh, no, plenty of advice. I just want to help you out with your batting. There's how big the field is. 65 metres in length, both sides. 60 and short to the left.
Nice. Running, Rick.
There it was. It was a bit short, and he was able to adjust. That one was the wrong one. It spun the other way. Just watch it here. You'll see it come out of his hand. There it is. Just a bit too short. Oh, and that's the flipper. Oh boy, he's bowling it pretty well, man. It beat him all ends up. It's the end of a good over. 90 for 5. Well, look at those figures for Bickle. 6 overs, 4 for 12. And he's got 4 to go. And, of course, Hogg down the bottom there doing pretty well too. Now, this is an interesting move. Brett Lee has been brought into the attack. There's a little bit of a whisper around that when Flintoff first comes to the crease, what you should do is bring the fast boys back and let him have a few. So that might well happen. We'll just have to see how Brett Lee goes about this. He's bowled very fast today. Hasn't quite got to the 161.3. That's the fastest ball bowled in this World Cup. But he's got over 160. Here we go now. Right, we'll soon find out what his tactics are going to be in respect of Flintoff.
Yeah, pace will mean nothing today, I don't think, on this wicket. Very spongy and dead. Not getting the carry to go with the pace out of the hand, and so therefore Brett Lee's got to concentrate on getting it in the right areas. And you see 2 slips back in place. Matthew Hayden coming across the gully. No men on the leg side hardly, just a fine leg and a mid-on. Hayden's not going to gully either. He's gone to a deep gully. So for the fend or the mistimed cut, just inside the circle.
Oh, and that one at 143, so a long way off what he'd worked up to in his first spell. He'll probably just home in on a lengthened line here for a few deliveries.
Hey, Greggy, how fast was Tomo? Now, Tomo, his 160 Ks, or 100 miles an hour, was an average from all the length of the pitch, wasn't it? So out of the hand, he would have been dynamite.
Yeah, Tomo was about 190. It was tough when men were men, mate. No crash helmets. No, he was, they tell me he was about the 100 mile an hour mark. Oh, he's hit that in the air and it's going to go for 6. Yes, just over the line. Boy, that was short outside off stump. I reckon it just... Oh, no, there's a signal that says 4 down there. McGrath saying it's 4. And they should believe him because he's right there and he's pointing to the little mark on the ground, just short of the rope. Well, from here it looked as if it was 6, but McGrath said, no way, it's 4. We'll soon tell. Yeah, about 3 inches. Good shot, though.
Magnificent shot. There's 2 men sort of placed for that. That's Andrew Simons behind square, and then the 3rd man. The rope just in front. It's yorked the rope, half volleyed the rope and bounced back a bit and up a bit. So that will be a change of decision. Although if it hits the rope on the full, it's 6. So has it just hit the ground or has it hit the rope with the ground?
You've got to take the word of the fieldsman, surely. Glenn McGrath said it was 2 inches short. Believe him, for goodness sake. You don't need a 10-minute delay here while we establish this. Batsman could say, I'm happy with the 4. Let's get on with it.
Andy Flintoff just got it in the middle of the bat, and this is what pace means nothing on this pitch. New batsman coming in. He's got 1 from 15 deliveries, and then he almost hits a 6 over backward point from the fastest bowler in the world.
He's getting upset. Glenn McGrath is dead right. He's saying, for goodness sake, believe me, get on with it. The ball was short of the rope. You can see there he's gone off already. I mean, it's ridiculous. The issue is, did it touch the rope? And on these angles, how do you tell whether it just nicked the rope? Glenn McGrath was right next to it, and he said, there we are, that's it. He said, that's how far it was. Take his word for it.
And finally, the change comes. Now let's get back on it. Brett Lee's looking to find the right lines and length. What's Flintoff going to follow that up with? That's a magnificent shot.
Forward bowled. That's a bit quicker. Just outside the off stump, a good length, and Flintoff having a little flirt at this one.
2 things adjusted. Just a little fuller, wasn't the wide, short one, and much closer. So the straight bat had to come into play. There's no room to play the cut, and that's where they have to keep him. Might even start to target the left armpit, and that might mean a man coming into leg gully. Get the ball at the body rather than at the cut shot.
And that one's gone flying away too. McGrath is going to cut this one off, is he? Yeah, all one-handed. Manages to stop it down there at third man. In comes a good throw. He's got a lovely arm.
.65 metres this boundary, and that's why the third man and the sweepers will be hustling all day. Even though they're on the rope, they've got to move. It's not as long as some other grounds. McGrath does well.
Right, he's starting to build up a bit of speed now. But at the end of the over, 97 for 5. That's well bowled, very well bowled. Again, just sliding across the right-hander. Oh, I think this is going to be interesting now. Flintoff on strike. His nature, I think, is such that he won't be able to continue presenting forward defensives to the spinner. He'll be eyeing that straight boundary, which is not a very long boundary, and hoping to be able to get a few really crispy drives away. So here we go. This will be interesting. Hogg continuing to him.
Nice, Hoggy.
We got through that one, Greggy. You thought that was it. He needs to replicate what Trescothick and Knight did. 66 from 62 at the top there. After that, nothing. Flintoff and Stewart have really got to reconsolidate, because there's not a lot left.
That's a wide. Way down the leg side.
Keep an eye on Andy Flintoff with this delivery. Did he pick it? He pitched outside leg. It was a leg spinner. I think he was waiting, expecting it to do something else. That's why he missed it by so far.
Oh, nice.
He's bowling pretty well. I've got to say, I've been really impressed with Hogg. I think he's taken to this role as the spinner for this Australian side like a duck to water. This is his fourth over, no wicket for 9. He's a useful operator, and he seems to me to be getting better with confidence as each match goes by. Oh, that's bounced up in the air. And of course, that single brings up the 100. Cheers from the Barmy Army here. They had a lot to cheer about early on, but they got a bit quiet just lately.
Certainly loved it when the Englishman came out to bat this morning. Second 50 coming in 94 balls after the first took just 45.
Nice.
Brad Hogg, his World Cup, 7 wickets at 16 and a half. He's been a very consistent performer for the team in the absence of Warne.
Oh boy, that's a great catch. Oh, and nearly caught. That was clearly an inside edge. Stewart is struggling to pick him as well. Well, there's a lot of smiles out there. Why wouldn't there be? They're doing so well, the Australians. 100 for 5. Lee. Oh, he's cut that away nicely. They've got a man right back on the boundary there. So Flintoff is clearly going to have a go at anything outside off stump. Well, let's have another look at that last ball, last over.
I saw Brett Lee's soccer skills come into play earlier in the day. Lloydie wasn't happy with them. Let's have a look at Adam Gilchrist. Flicks it up left shoe and then wants to dive to recover. Just missed out. That might be the sweep left foot that Bumble was talking about. Brett Lee was lacking.
Shades of Tubby Taylor going back a fair few years. Oh, I tell you what. That would have... what a great catch that would have been. Stewart right in behind it, looking a little bit more comfortable against Brett Lee. Have another look at this. Incredible stuff. There it is, inside edge, and kicks it up and just gets out of his reach. Very, very nearly.
Certainly spun, cramped the cut shot. Alex Stewart thought he had much more room to play with, but it came back. Magnificent awareness and agility, but just not quite enough.
So I think he might have enjoyed that little bit of athleticism. Brett Lee to Stewart on 7. That's well played and well fielded. Oh boy. There was a suggestion that this Australian team were taking their foot off the gas. I'm not so sure about that.
Brad Hogg at Whitey Smith on. Alex Stewart thought it was through. He called straight away. And Hogg saved 3. Because it was on the way to the boundary. Australian bowlers is one thing, they're good enough with the ball, but they get tremendous support all around the ground. None better than Hogg and Gilchrist, the two we've been talking about.
Mr. Stewart down the other end going along in singles at the moment, so he's taking it very slowly. Flintoff he's happy to have a go outside off stump if it's short. Brett Lee hasn't really given him a bouncer yet, straight bouncer.
Yeah, these Australian bowlers, their wickets have come at such a miserly rate. McGrath 11 wickets at 10, Gillespie 8 wickets at 12, Lee 6 wickets at 27, but certainly haven't been tested yet.
Oh, he's played and missed. Lee thinks he's got him. I don't think so. There was obviously a noise of some sort there. Lee was convinced he'd got him, but there was no real conviction from Gilchrist. I didn't think that the slips, the keeper in the slip that's in there, went up with much confidence. Ponting certainly did. He came charging in. Strange. Normally they're in unison.
It's the shot they want. Andrew Flintoff playing not the full-blooded cut, but starting to get a little dinky with it. Might be lucky he's got the woodworm bat. Have a look at the sides of his bat. Little chips out of the edges, and certainly Gilchrist and Martin not convinced.
Right, they're going to man back a deep square leg now, so get ready for a bouncer here. There's one on the boundary at point as well. Brett Lee. Starting to build up some pace. It's 102 for 5. Right, well, here we go again, a bit spin and a short delivery pulled away. Just one to Stewart. He plays the pull shot very well. You can't afford to be short to him. Right, this very interesting little tussle is going to continue. Those are that's a breakdown of the England innings. Pretty well split between the off and leg side. Oh, into the slot. He's driven that one beautifully right off the middle of the bat. Thinking about 2, but not taking the chance. Bevan, the fieldsman down there.
Yeah, that wagon wheel, even though it's pretty evenly split leg side to offside, it's totally dominated from about cover and mid-wicket and behind. And we'd hardly see England score down the ground. It's all been cut shots, pull shots, shots through and over the slips in the early days, and just Australia's length has been too short.
That's well bowled. He's certainly got them thinking. And I think Stewart's struggling a little to pick it as well. This was a quicker delivery outside off stump, more overspin on that ball, but you can see Stewart equal to the task there, but looked as if he was worried that it was going to go straight through or the other way.
Yes.
Australia don't want to drift here. This is an important period. Brett Lee can't afford to be too expensive from one end. He's got to support the work of Hogg. Just singles coming from him at this stage. So this is a period they can't allow to drift. Chop and change. Get some different bowlers on if the ones being used aren't having any impact.
Oh, nice.
That was tossed up nicely. That is the halfway mark. 25 overs have been bowled. It's 105 for 5. For 5. This is the shot from behind. We thought that there might have been just a little bit of a nick on this, or some of them did. Let's see what happens here as the ball goes past the bat. Well, there we are. Oh, Brett Lee was right. There we are, just past the bat there.
You see those scoops on the side of his edges? Would have been a much bigger edge if that wood was in there. Brett Lee heard it. Gilchrist not so sure, so you can't blame the umpire, that's for sure. And it's good to see Brett Lee turning around and asking the question eventually. Now Darren Lehmann comes on. He's had a good World Cup too, just 3 wickets, but they've come at only a cost of 11. His career, 30 wickets. Just under 30 as an average, so he's a bit of a frustrating bowler to face, Darren Lehmann. Feel as if you should be smashing him, and yet stands up on the wicket and turns just enough to cause you a headache. This wicket will suit him.
Yes, relatively slow. He'll probably just get it off the straight a little bit. But they won't worry about him as much as they're worrying about Hogg down the other end.
Good move this by Ricky Ponting. We said if Brett Lee's not having an impact, his 6 overs have gone for 42. Let's chop and change it. Don't let the game drift. And Lehmann's good because he'll punch some overs through in quick succession with Hogg.
Well, that's well fielded. Very well done. Stewart looking for a single there. Yes, I'd be a bit surprised if Flintoff doesn't go after Lehmann. This is the guy that I think is going to go after one of these bowlers. Lehmann's probably the man to go after.
Oh, nice, Darren.
That's why it's a good move. Be tempting Flintoff big time, this. Go down the ground. We've already seen 3 outside edges from Lehmann. He's good at keeping it up there and looking innocuous, but just doing a little more than that.
Nice ball.
Oh boy, just closing the face on that one a little bit. You want to be careful of that. Slow turner this is. Just see if you can pick up a turn here. See the revolutions there on the ball, just resulting in a little bit of turn.
Yes.
Oh, he's beaten the outside edge. So once again, the batsman beaten. 108 for 5.
Wednesday, right after Fox Sports News, highlights from the WRC Turkish Rally. Then at 8:30, we replay the Worthington Cup final between Liverpool and Man U, plus our weekly review from the World Snowfields.
New Zealand's final shot at the Super Sixes.
Another blunder.
Their vital clash against Canada.
He goes to 100 with the most magnificent 6.
Live New Zealand, Canada, tonight from 7. Fox Sports 2.
There are daring deals on Communicate mobile phone packages right now at Harvey Norman. Check out the Motorola T190 for a daring $159, or the red-hot Nokia 3315 for a daring $199. To celebrate the release of Daredevil on March 20, grab a daring Communicate pack at Harvey Norman now and SMS the keyword on pack to win a Daredevil adventure in cans or hundreds of movie tickets and CD soundtracks. Go on, be a daredevil.
See Australia take on the Calypso Kings, the West Indies, for the Frank Worrell Trophy on Fox Sports. Or even better, you can tour with Alan Border in the West Indies in April 2003. Gulliver's Sports Travel are delighted to offer a choice of 2 fantastic tours visiting the Caribbean islands of Trinidad and Tobago, St. Lucia, Barbados and Antigua. Call Gulliver's Sports Travel today on 073511 6466.
It's time for...
Minor premiers, the Sydney Kings travel to the Tigers cage in Melbourne for the first exciting tip-off in the NBL playoffs. The Tigers take on the Kings, 7:30 Saturday, Fox Sports 1.
A lot of wickets falling in a short space of time. He's got that away fine. I'll get 2 here. Stewart is being very patient. So that's a slight change. He's got 1 so far, and that breaks the sequence.
It was Brad Hogg's first bad ball, really. Well, he bowled 1 wide. That's in that category, but that was to be a wrong, and he just got a little leg side and a little full. Very rare.
It's when it pitches in the right place. Stewart very tentative at the moment. 14, Flintoff on 10, and well, they're going along very slowly, both of them with strike rates at the moment in this innings of 30s, or in the 30s. Well bowled. Right, this is what I've been looking forward to, more of this. More of the man capable of smashing it a long way against the flight and guile of the Aussie spinner. He's really looking good, I must say. I've been very impressed with Hogg. 5.3 overs, no wicket for 15. Well, there he goes. He's starting to think about it. He's starting to think boundaries.
Well, he's got it. Everything's teasing him. Everything's leading him on. Short boundaries or shortish boundaries. Slow bowling. His own stroke play. Look out. What's going to break?
Well fielded. Very well done. Martin doing some good work today.
Alex Stewart's got a big part to play right now too. He's got to keep Flintoff level-headed, keep him thinking ball at a time, working it around, have a set plan. Don't be drifting themselves, so make sure Stewart is right on Flintoff's hammer.
That's well played, and another very tidy over. 112 for 5. So Lehman getting that one off the edge as well. McGrath having to chase it down to third man, and Stewart back for the third. This is a good throw from McGrath. Once again, Gilchrist spinning around and whipping it down the other end. It all to no avail. 115 for 5. A change in commentary now. Richie Beno and David Gower.
Thanks, Tony. Bit of a fight back here. 115 is nowhere near enough, but it's a start. Double figures for Stewart, double figures for Flintoff. Touch of nerves as well for both of them. Even the most experienced player like Alex Stewart. Another tremble or two out there when he sees 4 go down in such quick time. Very good afternoon to you, David.
Very good afternoon to you as well. It's just a situation, isn't it? You can't do anything about what happens at the other end. You can focus on your own game. But of course, as soon as you lose wickets in the way England did, the whole momentum just disappears. The usual rules then are that the ability to play the shots you like to against the spinners, a bit of flamboyance, a few risks to be taken, all that disappears. Stewart and Flintoff have a mission here basically just to try and make the most of what's left, but they have to stay together for some time.
117 for 5. Well, if someone had told me I'd be sitting in a commentary box watching Brad Hogg and Darren Lehmann as the number 2 spinners for Australia in 2003, I'd have laughed at them.
Might as well enjoy it. They're not doing a bad job either. We saw, of course, Darren Lehmann in the VB series against England right at the start of that series appeared to be in full command. We saw Brad Hogg come through and enjoy himself a lot. He's a very happy-looking cricketer. Well, they actually bowled together quite a bit, didn't they? Because at that stage, Shane Warne went missing due to injury. Now he's gone missing for other very different reasons, maybe related to that injury. And they've got the chance to play a full part again.
Darren Lehmann does a good job with South Australia. He bowls quite a bit in the domestic matches. Now he's elevated to the international one-day level. Beautifully bowled. Very, very good bogey. He's got the whole repertoire, Brad Hogg. He's a bit of a fairy story, really, because he played for Australia in the 90s. Couldn't crack it at all and was left out. And I then saw him play in an Australian A team against England, 1998.
Yes! Nice, Hogg.
Whatever had happened to his bowling hand in its action, he had absolutely no chance. He was cocking his wrist so much the ball was just dropping out. No spin, no zip, no nothing. I wondered if he'd ever come back, but he's done wonderfully well. A great wrong and to finish the over, 119 for 5, 29. The orthodox spin of Darren Lehmann, as distinct from the over-the-wrist spin of Brad Hogg. Complement one another quite nicely.
The amazing thing about Darren Lehmann is he looks innocuous, yet he does get that little bit of turn. And he will also just vary his pace ever so gently. Pitch like this, which is slow and slightly grippy, in fact suits him, and he's got enough experience now just to keep things tight anyway, even without the situation, even without the fact that England lost all these wickets and know that this is the last potential partnership of any stature. Even without that, he has the ability just to keep things on a tightish rein. And the fact the ball is turning slowly means that someone like Andrew Flintoff, who has the power and the strength to hit the big shots off the spinners, will now be thinking twice about doing so.
Well, Brad Hogg has got himself in the position of being the #1 limited overs spinner for Australia. Be interesting to see what the selectors do with the team to the West Indies. Single off the last ball, 121 for 5 and 30 gone. Bradley Hogg's a hustling, bustling bowler. He gets back to his mark very quickly. He walks in, which is the popular way to do it these days, and the batsman sometimes is not quite ready. And I haven't yet seen a batsman who can say honestly that he picks him all the time. Top spinner, long and flipper, over spinner.
Well, that was certainly the case when we last watched him in the VB series in Australia over the last few months, where many a batsman seem to be readjusting rapidly, having not originally read the ball out of the hand. That applied to both England batsmen and Sri Lankan batsmen. Change of pace there as well. There seems to be something about it. If you watch leg spinners all the time, as a batsman you seem to build up some sort of picture of what's going on, yet for some strange reason, as soon as a left arm time when a Googie bowler comes on, it doesn't quite register in the same way.
It's always been the same with every one of them I've watched over the years. Gary Sobers, Johnny Martin of Australia, David Sincock of South Australia, who played for Australia later. For some reason, they are extremely hard to pick. Oh! 122 for 5 and 31 gone. Figures look at the moment. Bickle 6 overs, no maiden, 4 for 12.
Well, before Andy Bickle, we were talking in that first 30-40 minutes or so about some potential total of around about 300. That's the way things looked when England set off with Nigel Trescothick. Scoring rate at the start was around about 7 and over throughout those first 10 overs. Andy Bickle is the man who changed it all round. Now, even 6 and over from here on would only get to 236. Run rate at the moment is below 4. Flintoff and Stewart forced to be very watchful.
Would it have been a dressing room change of batting order that had Flintoff coming in at number 7? Or would that have been the original plan, do you think?
And that would have been the original order. We've had, or England have had Stewart at 5, Collingwood at 6 for a little while now. Flintoff, they see as sort of the first of the semi-all-rounders. And if he gets going down the order, as he did the other night in Durban against India, but in something of a lost cause, well, it's entertaining and it's effective. But 7 is his position. It's going to take a while, but England tinkered with their batting lineup, the batting order. I think they wasted an awful lot of time over the previous 3 or 4 months experimenting at the number 3 slot.
One of the good things from Brad Hogg's point of view is that Adam Gilchrist is the keeper. Gilchrist keeps wicket for Western Australia in the Australian domestic competition, the Pura Cup and in the IMG Cup. Gilchrist has more of a chance of being able to pick him than most people.
Shrug of the shoulders from Adam Gilchrist, suggesting that there wasn't really much of an effort at a shot. Umpire thinks differently.
Well, if it was a shot, it was a very inaccurate one. Yeah, now the batsman is complaining about the bowler getting in at him before he was ready. And the bowler's complaining about a leg bye going against him. Nicely bowled, good flight. Stewart was just thinking about whacking that away over mid-wicket. Had to change his mind, the ball dropped quite sharply on him.
Yes!
130 for 5, 33 gone. That graph shows how England slumped after the early partnership between Trescothick and Knight. They scored their runs very fast. And now those 4 little circles you saw on the graph, and then the 5th one.
Easy now.
Those little circles always slow down the run rate. around about 17 overs to go, and 200 would be the aim at the moment. They'd be happy with that.
Well, Flintoff and Stewart working on the 3. They've got to hang in there for the best part of those 17 overs, and if they do, they can at least attempt to accelerate away from this 4 runs per over later on. But at the moment, it's all very, very steady. Fielding is sharp, the bowling is steady but accurate.
Go! 132 for 5, 34 gone. Tenth and last over for Bradley Hogg. It's a real live wire out there. Gets the ball, dashes back. Tongue action is good. Once again the wrong one.
Gilchrist was quickly onto it and wide of the mark, comfortably so. But that boundary down there is a short one, so even though the ball was eluding Brad Hogg, it was McGrath who was down on that boundary, able to back up and make sure there's no extra overthrow.
That's a fine shot. Final over for Brad Hogg. First boundary for 13 overs. In the first 17 overs there were 10 fours and 2 sixes. Last 17 overs just 2 fours.
Well, strangely he had until then had the man on the boundary. But the field has changed somewhat.
Oh, George, Griffith!
Previously, Brad Hogg had operated with the cover man out on the boundary, and although that's mainly for Alex Stewart, for Flintoff things had changed so that they needed that man in to get the minimum of 4 in the circle. Nonetheless, that boundary, a welcome relief for England.
Hogg done for 28 off 10, 139 for 5, 35 gone. Still to come, Craig White, Ashley Giles in the side instead of Ronnie Irani, then Caddick and Anderson to make up the 11. The partnership up for Andy Flintoff and Alex Stewart. There's something of a recovery mission here.
Yeah, the speed of it, though, has been dictated by the circumstances. They're going at roughly 3 runs and over. Well, stark contrast to the almost inspired opening between Knight and Trescothick, where they were running at 7 and over.
Darren Lehman's bowling with 5 men on the boundary. Purely defensive field, just 4 inside the fielding circle. 2 of those actually behind point for Alex Stewart. From what we've seen here, Ashley Giles might get a bit of work on the ball when England find themselves in the field. .144 for 5 and 36 overs.
This week from the Premier League, the action kicks off tomorrow morning 6:55. Steve Bruce and his Blues look to inflict more pain on Taylor's Villa, who won't forget their last meeting back in September. Then on Thursday, LTEL's Leeds make the trip to Old Trafford, but Manchester United will be ready for battle as they look to keep the title race alive.
Robbery again from Manchester United!
Tomorrow morning, Aston Villa, Birmingham. Thursday, Man United, Leeds.
So this is a new place, Jacko?
Yep. Yes, you've done well.
How good is this?
Good on you, Jacko. Check this out.
Down to Golds, boys. Oh, my, you're a beauty.
Not much of a beer fridge. Good thing we've only got time for one.
Nice one, mate. Oh, good as gold, mate. This will last us for months. Look out, kids, here comes the ball.
Don't tell me. Equity, mate.
A new pool at Home Loan Rates. Ask about our home loans with no establishment fee. Conditions apply. Which bank?
Right, Fletch here, captain of the mighty Rabbitohs. We're in for a very big season. And we need you, the fans, to be part of it.
And we need your support.
By becoming a member of the club. Join now and enjoy the benefit. Reaffirm your loyalty and your passion. Call South on this number or go to our website.
It seems he's heading down to Redfern to support the team.
Go South Sydney!
144 for 5 here at Port Elizabeth. Just a little look at some of the wildlife. Plenty of it down here, offshore from Humewood. Similar to the fish we find round about the Barrier Reef in Australia. Oh, very pretty. They could finish up on a barbecue tonight. Except that one. 36 overs gone. 29 for Flintoff, 28 for Stewart. Around about the same number of balls faced. The batsman out today. First of all, Nick Knight. Damien Martin.
Everything went right for Andy Bickle. He was the man who struck and changed everything around. Hussain the third to go. It was Vaughan who'd been the second. Then Trescothick again caught by Damien Martin in that wide slip position. Perfectly placed twice. Real dream for the captain when the man is in the right position all the time like that. Collingwood not so much beaten by the movement as had been Vaughan and Hussain, but by a little bit of over-ambition. Those 5 wickets all falling in something of a hurry, and in the course of 30 minutes or those 30 or 40 minutes, pace of the game changed completely. Bickle has been the outstanding bowler of the day. 6 overs, 4 for 12. McGrath took a while to settle. Didn't bowl as well as he can do. And the wicket cheered him up a bit. But the spinners have a role to play, it seems, here at St George's Park. It's slow, it's turning a bit. Brad Hogg having finished his allocation. Darren Lehman has taken over. Now it's gentle medium pace from Andrew Simons, and he's just got away with that. Alex Stewart would not have believed it. Had a gentle leading edge Gone straight to Ricky Ponting.
Simons has decided to bowl in his faster version today. He's only medium pace, no more than that. But he can bowl off spin. That's not so good. The first one was a loosener, and that one even more so. Gave Flintoff the chance to get it away down deep fine leg.
Well, ill-directed, and all the time in the world for Flintoff just to glance it away. He might actually be better off bowling his off-spin today.
Well, it looks to me as though the pitch is slow, not slow and low. There's been a bit of bounce there, but slow and not all that easy on which to play your strokes. There's certainly some turn there. No doubt about that from what we saw from Lehman and Hogg. That's a biggie. That is halfway up the bleachers in that big open stand. What was worse for the bowler, he did it without any apparent effort. Just a little flick away on the onside.
Well, it's classic Flintoff. You offer him something as easy as this, he makes it look very easy, and the ball disappears many a mile. It's been a pour over, a very poor over from Andrew Simons.
Finish, Roy!
155 for 5.
.55 for 5, and these two, if not taking complete control, starting to assert themselves out there. Ricky Ponting's trying to get through full 20 overs with the spinners, partly to do with the over rate, and the graphic starting to look good on the right-hand side.
It's all very different. If you bowl on the right spot, as Lehman is doing, then it's not very easy to get the ball away. If you bowl anywhere but, which is what Simons did in that first over, all sorts of opportunities present themselves. I would guess that Flintoff and Stewart will be very happy if Ricky Ponting decides to continue with Andrew Simons. But you mentioned the fact that Simons can bowl off spin. If he can bowl it anywhere near the right sort of spot, then he can do a Lehman in reverse, and Flintoff and Stewart will be forced again just to nudge and work the ball into spaces. If he bowls those medium paces halfway down, we'll be seeing that ball thrown back from the crowd on a regular basis. 158 for 5.
Andrew Simons, second over, 11 off the first.
Yes.
And not a good start in the second. Mark Taylor's in the commentary box now, and moving swiftly like a gazelle, David Lloyd.
Thank you, Richie. I'm not so sure my co-commentator is all that happy with that introduction, though.
I just about got in here.
Andrew Simons has got away with that one. Not really sure why he's bowling his medium paces here today. There's certainly some turn in the pitch. If he keeps bowling this length to Andrew Flintoff, we'll go for more than one.
He's doing okay. Let him keep bowling this.
He's got that nice and fine. But Lee's got some more work to do. We'll keep it to 2. Now, it looks to me like Ricky Ponting is trying to get 10 overs out of Lehmann and Simons combined. And Lehmann's bowled 7 overs for 25 and Simons into his second over for 15. And that's into the gap as well. This time some work for Bickle.
Well, he could have kept Lehmann going, or Simons to bowl off cut, just a little bit of off spin. This pitch will grip, just a touch. That's all it needs to do, take the pace off. He's bowled a poor line and a poor length. McGrath, 8 overs, 1 for 38. Usual pace from Lee. Andy Bickle has been sensational.
Well, I think it would be safe to say that Andrew Bickle will bowl out. He's bowled 6 overs, as you mentioned, has 4 wickets already. But maybe Simons and Lehmann will bowl some of Brett Lee's overs as well. Brett Lee's got 6 overs for 42. So maybe Ricky Ponting is trying to get not just 10 overs out of Lehmann and Simons, but maybe 13 or 14 overs out of the two of them. That's in the gap. That could well be 4. Oh, Bickle does very well. And keeps it to 2 along with Glenn McGrath's help. That's brilliantly done. 5 for 167. 39 overs bowled. And Andrew Bickle there just going over on the knee. It's a bit of a worrying sign, particularly when he's bowling so well. And also with Jason Gillespie injured at the moment as well.
He's always rock solid for me, Bickle. I think when you get back to Lee can just be held back to bowl at England's tail, 9, 10, 11. He'll just blow them away just with pace. Just having a chat out there, wicket-keeper and captain. Lehmann comes into that conversation. England's card. No substantial innings as yet, but this is a decent partnership. Partnership of 80 and 127 deliveries between Stewart and Flintoff. Flintoff's playing well. Alex Stewart, as always, would be rock solid. But there's only White, Giles, Caddick, Anderson to come. So if you just keep Lee back, there's every chance that if another wicket falls, Lee can just run straight through England.
Well, we talked about Ricky Ponting maybe trying to get more overs out of Lehmann and Simons. I think he would have had Andrew Bickle down to bowl his complete 10. That's well done from Ponting. Well, Bickle at the moment has 6 overs bowled. He may just have hurt himself in that last over. This was the last ball of that last over. I think it may have been the left knee.
He's a type of guy that just keeps going for me. He'll get up there and just stretch himself down. Captain's dream. There's no real spin from Lehmann, just a little bit of tweak. Quite round arm, but does a good job for Australia. Just look at his figures. He's coming up to 8 overs, none for 25. Getting through overs very, very quickly. Over 8 is 15.2. So Australia rattling through these overs, but it's a decent spell, is this, for England?
That's well played. It was short. It was a good shot too from Alex Stewart. Picked the gap nicely. And that's his first boundary. 171 for 5. Flintoff and Stewart have done well, 43 and 41 apiece. And Andrew Simons has been replaced, not surprisingly been replaced at the Park Drive end. Andrew Bickle is back into the attack, 6 overs 4 for 12, and that was a wonderful spell. Last 10 overs though have been good for England, none for 50 from the last 10, and they're probably going to need that plus a little bit more from the last 10 of this innings.
Well, these two are together and they're established, so that's good from England's point of view. He's prompted another change. Bickle into the attack. We just saw him fall over earlier, but I don't think there'll be a problem there at all. He's a hustle-bustle bowler. He's just what you need as a captain. He gives you everything. He's a very, very fit lad. Ball's there and thereabouts, round about off stump, but it's a defensive field. When you look at the field now, it'll just be 4 inside the circle, 3 on the offside, 1 on the leg side. Australia protecting the boundaries. Just 3 on the offside, just 1 saving 1 right on the edge of the circle at mid-wicket. Plenty of boundary fielders.
Well, 10 overs remaining, 171 for 5. I get the feeling the Australians will be reasonably happy with that, particularly after the start. England were 1 for 67 from the first 10 overs. That's well done. Mid-off is up inside the circle for Andrew Flintoff, and that's the area I think he'll be eyeing off against Andrew Bickle. There won't be the swing away from the right-hander as Andrew Bickle was able to get earlier this morning.
This England run rate 4.26. I think they're going along fine. It's all about these 10 overs, keeping these two together at the crease. I'm a massive believer in getting runs on the board. If you can get decent runs on the board, put pressure on the opposition. Having said that, it looks a decent pitch, does this?
Well, I get the feeling the Australians will be eyeing off about anything less than 8 runs per over from these last 10. Keep the chase under 250 and they'll feel they've well in front in this game.
I think that's a yardstick every time you go out there. 50 overs, 250, and then you move up or down. 1 on the wicket itself. If it's a really good wicket, you expect more than 250, but if you lose wickets, which England have done, they've lost 5, it may just be a par score. 250 is a par score, but then they'd have runs on the board. But it's very much down to these two.
The mid-off has now gone back. Flintoff, fine leg up inside the circle. No real surprise there. Bickle still is getting some movement away from the right-hander in the air. Actually got his action just right at the moment, Andrew Bickle, because when he is bowling at his best, he does swing the ball away. Now the ball's now the best part of 41 overs old, and he's still able to swing the ball away.
But it is defensive, and there are no catches in there. Fourteen 4s and 3 6s in this England innings. Just see how this field changes. It doesn't change much at all. There are still just 4 inside the circle. People come back into the attack. Australia obviously looking for another wicket and another breakthrough, but they're leaving it to England. You get yourselves out. No slips, no gullies.
Well, Alex Stewart might have won there. An excellent backup from Brad Hogg. There may well have been one there, though. Brett Lee was the fieldsman originally, and he is very quick across the ground.
Field has been bang on from Australia. They've been very, very mobile, quick to the ball. Everybody backs up for each other. Already qualified, but it doesn't matter that. They just want to beat England once again.
Oh, it's dropped him. Tough one for Adam Gilchrist. Good healthy edge. But just 2 from the over. 173 for 5. I think England will be looking at that second last figure there for mine. 245 is what I think they'll need to apply some pressure to the Australian batting order later this afternoon. 5 for 173. Could well have been 6 for 172. Tough chance to Adam Gilchrist in the last over. Went quick and it went down.
And guess who? It's Bickle again. There's a little bit of movement out there. He just hangs his bat out. It's a good diving chance. There's no slipping. I just find that surprising. With 5 down, you bring your best bowler on, and he has been the best bowler. Bring him back into the attack and say, OK, well, we'll have a slip and we'll try and get another wicket. And then the 6 down with nothing to come. England survived there.
It's up in the air. Ponting's the man going back, and he's dropped it as well. And that was not an easy one either. It was always swirling, drifting away from Ponting. He wanted it, he went after it, and in the end he put it down.
I backed him there. He had my mortgage on this. As soon as he set off Ponting, it's a skewed shot from Flintoff. He keeps his eye on it and parries it. It's a let off for Flintoff. Flintoff looking to go down the ground. Comes off a thick outside edge.
A single for that. It was interesting to note that Andrew Simons was the fieldsman in the deep. In the end, it was probably his catch. One of those ones that may well have landed in between the two of them. Ponting wanted it. He obviously called for it very early on. And that's what you need to do when you're going back. You need to be positive. But unfortunately, from an Australian point of view, he couldn't hang on.
I backed him there, you know. As soon as I saw it was Ponting, I backed him to catch that. Partnership's 89.
It's a record for Australia.
Nice, Darren.
42 bowled, 176 for 5.
Come on, lads.
.176 for 5. Stewart and Flintoff have added 89 for the 6th wicket, which, as we mentioned last over, is a record for England against Australia for the 6th wicket. They need to keep going here, though. Only 8 overs remaining.
Bickle starts his 8th overs. His figures are brilliant, 4 for 14, but also Lehman's done a terrific job for Australia. 9 overs, none for 32. There's nobody really played a shot in anger. Bickle's always there, round and round about, off stump, a decent pace. He's not lightning quick. Still keep looking around at this field. It's defensive.
Oh, I think, David, that suggests to me that Ponting's happy. He's happy just to keep the runs down now. Get a single for that. I think the thing that interests me the most with Andrew Bickle is his ability to continually swing the ball away. Usually this white ball gets very dirty, picks up quite a bit of grass, and very difficult to swing. You see some Irish swing late in some innings. But today, Bickle looks to me like he's still swinging the ball away from the right hand in a conventional form.
Yeah, they don't usually keep in great condition, these balls, later on in the innings, once they got clattered around, but Australia work hard at the ball. Good grip, grip, solid action.
That's straight up in the air. Adam Gilchrist, the keeper's called for it, as he should. And this time, Flintoff has to go. And Bickle's got 5 wickets, and that's brilliantly bowled.
5 for Bickle, you can't keep him out of it. It's a slog from Andrew Flintoff. We've seen that many, many times before. Uncontrolled shot. Joy there for Bickle, joy for Australia. Gillespie doesn't play, Bickle does. Bickle does the job. Here it is. Andrew Flintoff. On the fly, where's it gone? Straight up in the air. Gilchrist, that's mine. Get out the way, here he comes. Keeps his eye on the ball. Big pair of gloves, easy catch. Gilchrist takes one, Flintoff's gone. He's played okay, 45 for him, 177 for 6.
This March, from the 1st to the 31st, Fox Sports comes alive with live sport every day throughout the month.
What a game this is proving to be.
An incredible 400 hours of live sport in March.
Thank you for coming.
Who else but Fox Sports can bring you this much sport? The NRL, the Cricket World Cup, the Vodafone Super 12, the NBL, the USPGA, the Superbike World Championship, the English Premier League, the ATP Masters Series, the Australian Swimming Championships, and so much more live. Rugby League, NRL, from the beginning to the end, Fox Sports will be there with every game from every round, including at least 3 live games every week.
And they've done it again.
No one else gives you this much footy. Cricket, our unbeatable live coverage from the ICC World Cup continues throughout March.
This is wonderful stuff.
And only Fox Sports brings you every ball from every match. Rugby Union, 25 live games from the Vodafone Super 12 throughout the month.
Yes, there's no doubt about that.
Including the Waratahs clash with the Reds. Basketball, the NBL season reaches the playoffs, and Fox Sports is bringing you the semi-finals live.
Oh, an absolute thriller.
Motorsport, March sees the World Superbike Championship rip back into pole position. Fox Sports will be there, including round 2 live from Phillip Island. Soccer, our unbeatable live coverage from the English Premier League continues throughout March, including Liverpool Leeds. And Arsenal up against Everton. That's 31 days of live sport. On average, 13 hours live every day.
And he's hit that straight down the ground. That's a great hit. Oh, that's a beauty.
What an incredible month of sport. This March, only on Fox Sports.
English all-rounder Craig White is the new batsman, replacing Andrew Flintoff. And surprisingly enough, actually, Craig White will be on strike. Stewart and Flintoff not crossing while that catch was being taken. The ball was in the air a long time. I'm not really sure why they didn't cross. So Andrew Bickle, who has 5 for 15, will get a chance to bowl to a new batsman. Straight away, off the mark.
So 5 for 16 now, Andy Bickle. His last wicket was Andrew Flintoff. Uncontrolled shot, looking for that big shot, big boundary. Just sets himself, gets his front leg out of the way, goes high, high. Here he comes, Gilchrist, get out of the way, that's mine.
Plenty of delight. 4 for 18 was Andrew Bickle's best figures against England prior to today. He now has 5 for 16 in his 8th over. I was interested to see that I think Alex Stewart was the man who sent Andrew Flintoff back after he hit the ball up in the air. It was more than likely going to be taken by Adam Gilchrist, but I'm not sure why Alex Stewart here sent him back. You can see there telling him to get back in his crease. I'm not sure why they just didn't take the single. If it had been dropped, though, they would have got through for the single, and it was taken. Alex Stewart would have been on strike. I'm not really sure why he sent him back.
Pass.
Another shout there. Looked like it was missing leg from here. Another successful over though. 178 for 6. Overs remaining. 178 for 6 at the moment. Current run rate will see England make 207. They're going to need some more than that, I believe. Although this pitch certainly is slowing up, and there'll be some turn there for Ashley Giles later in the day.
He's not a big ripper of the ball though. He's just round about Lehman. I think from England's point of view, get that Andrew Simons back on. That'll be the change. Get him back into the attack and clatter him all over the shore. 178 for 6, 43 overs have been bowled. Stewart's there, he's going to be left with the tail as well. Stewart 45. Craig White at the crease. Caddick and Anderson to come.
Oh, half a shout from Darren Lehman. Craig White the striker. Darren Lehman the bowler. Brothers-in-law. We saw in Australia in the recent series that Craig White got the better of this duel, I thought, during the summer. Picked him up a few times with his medium paces. Picked up Darren Lehman, that is, a couple of times. And also made some useful runs off him.
He did, he had the wood on him. He's forgot Giles also. England have got Giles, Caddick, Anderson still to come. It's not enough, this, 178 for 6.
We talked about Ashley Giles not being a big turner. Well, I can tell you that Darren Lehman's not a big turner of the ball either, but he's getting some turn out there and the occasional bit of bounce as well. So there certainly is some encouragement for the bowlers, predominantly the slower ones.
Just be single out to the deep on the offside. I mean, the other option England would have is Michael Vaughan, but he's just an occasional bowler. I don't think there's any comparison between Brad Hogg and Lehman and what England have got with Ashley Giles and Michael Vaughan. As the ball gets older, it's good practice, it's a good tactic. This is Lehman's last over, he's going to get away unscathed.
This was Louis' 10th over, Darren Lehman, none for 33. He's been bowled well. He's bowled from the duck pond end, which is bowling slightly downhill here at St George's Park. I think it's also the longer boundary off to the leg side for the right-handers. I think that's why Ricky Ponting is bowling from that top end.
Well, the other thing he does, he just rattles through his overs. He's 15.1, the over rate. And he's finished. That's his 10 overs done. No real damage. 44 overs have gone, 180 for 6.
Overs remaining. Andrew Bickle's just gone over to the umpires and said, I'll take this one. They're talking about changing the ball. He's picked up some grass and some dirt. We talked about it a couple of overs ago. Andrew Bickle's put his hand in the box and pulled out the new one and said, I'll start with this one, thank you.
That went unnoticed, didn't it? This'll do, I'll have this one. It's brand new, I'll have a go with this. Bickle 8 overs, 5 for 16. Unfinished business. Australia's bowling figures, 6 bowlers used. Hogg finished, Lehman finished.
Well, not surprised that the England batsmen have asked for Andrew Bickle to change the ball. I'm not so sure they're having too much trouble picking it up, but they're probably concerned why it's still swinging. There's the old ball there. And one side there, that side there looks reasonably smooth, and that's the side I think the Australians are working on to try and swing the ball away. And now it's gone.
I won't let the dog play with that.
Oh, straight through him. Well, new ball or old ball, it doesn't matter to Andrew Bickle. He's got it straight. Alex Stewart tried to go over the top and he's lost his middle stump, and now Andrew Bickle has his best career figures. 6 wickets for Bickle.
Well, what a start. Andy Bickle into the attack. No Gillespie, he's not fit. Come and have a game. Here he goes again. This is his 6th for dead straight, bullseye straight. He hits across the line, Alex Stewart. It's middle stump. It's almost as if he's bowling 2 at once. They've just changed the ball. Stewart has gone for 46. England in trouble, 180 for 7.
This week from the Premier League, the action kicks off tomorrow morning 6:55. Steve Bruce and his Blues look to inflict more pain on Taylor's Villa, who won't forget their last meeting back in September. Then on Thursday, LTEL's Leeds make the trip to Old Trafford, but Manchester United will be ready for battle as they look to keep the title race alive.
Robbery again from Manchester United!
Tomorrow morning, Aston Villa, Birmingham. Thursday, Man United, Leeds.
Now's the time to buy from Harvey Norman and receive 15 months interest-free. You pay no deposit, no interest, and no repayments till 2004. What an incredible deal! You get 15 months interest-free. Available in furniture, bedding, electrical, computers, and much more. This is an offer not to be missed. No repayments till 2004 for a limited time only. No deposit, 15 months interest-free, and no repayments till 2004. Minimum purchase $500. Conditions apply. See store for details.
This classic Ashes moment on Fox Sports is brought to you by Hahn.
First ball. Now what's happened? Mike Gatting staying there. The bail is off. He's bowled him. Gatting can't believe it. Dickie Bird, I suppose, can believe it. First ball. Lethal.
Not a bad one to start with. I can understand Mike Gatting being disbelieving.
Enjoy a Hahn Premium Light during the cricket.
There are sports, and there are extreme sports. Just like there are compact four-wheel drives, and there's the Nissan X-Trail. Its extreme interior has clever features like a washable luggage board and drink coolers. The X-Trail. Only Nissan takes the compact four-wheel drive to the extreme.
Ashley Giles is the new man, left arm orthodox spinner, and he's facing up against Andrew Bickle, who has 6 for 16 from his 8.2 overs. I mentioned earlier that he may not have played this game had Gillespie been fit. And now he's got his best figures. 5 for 19 were his best figures, and he's got some big names as well.
He's bowled terrifically well. He's on for another watch. That's what you get for man of the match. You get a nice watch. He's on for one. Dead straight. It's across the line, middle stump. That's good enough. 6 for 17.
Slight hesitation. Ricky Potting was on the fielding restriction circle, so it was a good call from Craig White.
White and Giles at the crease now for England. White on 3, Giles on 1, so well, they've just got to bat these overs out if they can. And 7 wickets down, and once again Australia dominate England. England winning the toss, batting first.
Oh, another one past the edge. Well, interesting to note that Port Elizabeth, where we're playing this game, was England's home base. It's the place they chose for this World Cup, and yet it hasn't been a great round for them. We see Rudy van Vuuren from Namibia took 5 for 43 here against them earlier in the competition, and now Andrew Bickle has 6 for 18.
There is a bit of a difference. This is a better pitch. This is much better pitch than the Namibia game.
Another excellent over from Andrew Bickle. 182 for 7. Only 2 for 7, 5 overs remaining. And Glenn McGrath, 7 for 15 last match for Australia. And now Andrew Bickle, 6 for 18. It'll be Brett Lee, who replaces Darren Lehman from the duck pond end. And he starts with a wide. Replacement in the commentary box as well. In comes Ian Healy, and with him Ian Botham.
Thanks, Mark. Brett Lee, inexpensive. I certainly felt Australians have adjusted their line and length very well, because at the start of this innings they were far too short, in my opinion. Since then, they have put them under pressure. But there is a bit of help in this wicket for the seamers, particularly with the new ball, as we've seen swing. Andy Bickle used it to its ultimate when he came into the attack.
There's a great evidence that Brett Lee's bowled too short. Look, 14 and 10 runs and 11 on the leg side behind mid-wicket. Nothing down the ground other than 4 on the leg side, so it's not the wicket to bowl the pace and bounce that he was looking for.
New batsman out there, Ashley Giles. So I will give him a shorter delivery. No real surprise with that. Well directed.
Yeah, Trescothick was going with that. He hit a 6 out of the ground with that type of delivery. Knight was looking to attack it as well, and they did. They got away with it, but sure, Giles mightn't be able to cope as well later on in the innings. That's a fuller ball, squirted and brilliantly fielded by Ponting. Shies at the non-strikers. I don't think I've seen the Australian team throw themselves about in the field as effectively as today. There's been maybe 50 of these types of stops. Just brilliant when the ball's been on the ground. There's been 2 drop catches. Gilchrist dropped 1 and so too Ponting. Both difficult and both acceptable to have gone down, but their ground fielding has been maybe the best I've ever seen.
That's nicely played. There'll only be 1. Just need to use up the overs now, England. Essential. If they can get themselves to 220, 225, 230 and can use the new ball, well, they can put themselves in with a real chance. They need to go on. But a flying start. And then Andy Bickle appeared. Just look at that card. We want a copy of this, Bix, and take it home with him. Thought about the single. Side against it. Good over from Brett Lee though. Started with a wide, just 2 singles since. Ponting. I think he might well have been quite pleased to have lost the toss on the ears. I don't know if you know really what's a good score to set.
No, that's for sure. I think 220 is defendable. Early wicket or two, it's a worry. The new ball will be the best time to bat.
It's a good shot, but they should get two here. Now there's a bit of a mix-up there, I think. They could get it with three. Oh, they should have got three. But the first mistake was in the field. 46 gone, 4 to go, 187 for 7. So reasonably confident, Heels?
I think it's in the favour of the Aussies. As I said, 220 is defendable, but you'd probably back the Australians to get it, and England have to bowl as well as they ever have. So, yes, reasonable confident at the moment. I'd like Andy Bickle to pick up his 7th here too.
Well, of course, they're up to try and get that record as well, Australia, so plenty of incentive. Andy Bickle then, starting his last over. He won't want this spell to end. Not now, he won't. There's his 7th wicket. 9.1 overs, no maidens, 7 for 18 now, Andy Bickle's figures.
He's got a chance for 8 as well. He's got 5 deliveries to go. Ashley Giles played this shot brilliantly in Cape Town against Pakistan. 17 he made, but this time not quite sure whether to go through with it or not. Was it the pitch which held up? Probably not. He just managed to chip Michael Bevan, who gets up there, holds it in the fingertips, stays inside the circle, which means nothing. Giles out for 2, 187 for 8.
Monday on Fox Sports 1, highlights from the World Rally Championship in Turkey. After the latest worldwide sports news, the back page, then Super 12 wrap, plus golf.
New Zealand's final shot at the Super Sixes.
Another blunder.
Their vital clash against Canada.
He goes to 100 with the most magnificent 6.
Live, New Zealand-Canada, tonight from 7, Fox Sports 2. See Australia take on the Calypso Kings, the West Indies, for the Frank Worrell Trophy on Fox Sports. Or even better, you can tour with Alan Border in the West Indies in April 2003. Gulliver's Sports Travel are delighted to offer a choice of 2 fantastic tours visiting the Caribbean islands of Trinidad and Tobago, St. Lucia, Barbados and Antigua. Call Gulliver's Sports Travel today on 073511 6466.
It's time for...
Minor premiers, the Sydney Kings travel to the Tigers cage in Melbourne for the first exciting tip-off in the NBL playoffs. The Tigers take on the Kings, 7:30 Saturday, Fox Sports 1.
Well, there you go, Andy Bickle climbing that ladder. 7 for 18. And McGrath just above him, but Andy Bickle's got chances to go much further yet. England only 2 wickets left. Andy Caddick's the new man at the crease. Andy Bickle has 5 balls left. Well, they're still doing a bit for the seamers. This is the reason Andy Caddick's at the crease.
It is still doing a bit. That one didn't do too much, just a miss hit. Didn't quite know whether to go along the ground or over the top. And Bevan just held it into his left index finger and middle finger. It was good. Just check the shot. A little more. I'm sure Ashley Giles is ruining that fact right now. Bickle's had good rhythm right from the word go.
And took up a single here. Good running. Craig White's quick. So I think he only just hangs on to it. I'm not sure whether he misjudges the jump at first or whether he's worried about going outside the circle. But just look at that, it's just in the fingers there.
He was he was getting off the ground a little early, wasn't he? He had to check his jump, and that's what probably his mind was on the jump, and then he thought, oh, hang on, I better remember to catch this. Just got it in his left hand, and to the delight of everyone, -1. That's you, Ian Botham.
There's definitely something in this wicket when you keep it up there. And that's nipping back and through the gate. Seam upright. Look at that. That's a lot of movement.
Yeah, very receptive to the seam. We saw it was trampoline type bounce all day. Bickles used it better than anyone because of his length. He's had the batsman tentatively on the front foot rather than confidently on the back like Lee and McGrath.
Running, easy single there. 1 ball to go then for Andy Bickle. Well, with 1 ball to go, he can break one more record. He's number 2 in the list of all-time World Cup wicket hauls. And Glenn McGrath is the one just above him. That chart actually tells me he's bowled straight. 50% on either side of the wicket. Hope England have watched. Here we go. That's well bowled. And that's the end of an absolutely magnificent spell from Andy Bickle. 10 overs, no maidens, 7 for 20. Quite remarkable figures. Standing ovation and well deserved. Congratulations all the way round. Nick Knight was the first to go, well taken by Damian Martin. Michael Vaughan, outside edge. Nasser Hussain, good delivery. Paul Collingwood went after a wide one, got the edge. Andrew Flintoff, an agricultural shot. Well taken by Adam Gilchrist. So, maybe a leg by, and we'll just go back and complete that. Not often you have to try and get 7 wickets into a over break. Alex Stewart playing all around it. And then Astor Giles well caught by Michael Bevan. Excellent stuff from Andy Bickle. Bells will be ringing in Queensland.
I think a sign of how well he bowled was the dismissals of Flintoff and Stewart. They put on 90. And both had no answer to Bickle's bowling. Straight and on the perfect length, hitting the top of the stumps. Flintoff looking for that 6, which he'd hit Andy Simons for. Couldn't get it from Bickle. And then Stewart looked to beaten all ends up, and yet he was so much in form.
He bowls wicket to wicket. Gives you everything he's got, whether he's bowling, fielding or batting. Model pro. He's through him again. And for that Yorker, full, straight and quick. And Carrick doesn't want to get his toes in the way of one of these.
Well, we said before, this is where Brett Lee could be effective, even if he's been expensive at the start of his spell. And he is. He's bowled short balls to Giles. He's now bowled 2 Yorkers through Caddick. And he's got it all back. The Australians were really appreciative of Andy Bickle's efforts. It was McGrath and Brett Lee first up to him. Very persistent in their enthusiasm because they know he's dug Australia out of a huge hole.
Now, I'm just wondering if he went so far over, he was outside. Looks like there was some bat involved. There you go. That explains it. Okay, it was just saying, hey, I hit that. Well, he did.
There were two noises. The Australians didn't all hear it, and that's not the first time they haven't all heard one today. They thought they had Andy Flintoff caught behind, or the men in front of the wicket thought they did, but the men behind didn't. And that's another one. Caddick, luckily, edging it onto his front pad.
Push, but there were only going to be one. Yeah, this is where he's so effective, isn't it? Only around 95 plus miles an hour at the end of an innings, firing it up there. Once you get past the regular batsman, there's not a great deal tail-enders can do.
He's like a good leg spinner. Warney is renowned for wiping out the tail. So too Brett Lee. I like the way he's bowling to Andy Caddick. His big shot is over cover, and they're firing in it at leg stump.
Good over. 2 to go, 192 for 8. To go. That's the story of that England innings so far. Great start, 66 for 1, and then lost 5 wickets for 21 runs. That man, Andy Bickle, came into the attack, and it all started happening. And Paul Collingwood got out at 87 for 5. Good partnership between Stewart and Flintoff. Well, they need to bat out these remaining 12 balls and pick up at least a run a ball. Glenn McGrath back into the attack. Now, look at this ball moving around. The England bowlers are going to be sitting back and thinking, OK, come on, lads. Get the length right at the start of the innings. Anything can happen.
And this was the ball they changed. Just 2 or 3 over. This is the 3rd over from this end with the new ball, and it's been doing plenty. There's certainly enough evidence to suggest England can bowl well here. They've got the bowlers to take the pace off the deliveries.
Tip and run. If you get a boundary, it's a bonus.
Talk about 220 being defendable, maybe, but they haven't got there, have they? So 193, they've got to get as many as they can. Just puts it more in favour of the Australians.
The other thing England got to remember as well, they're not necessarily out of the tournament if they lose this game. Pakistan beat Zimbabwe. With the run rate at the present, they'd probably go through. Right. Bat on ball.
So they need to make as many runs as they can now, England, and then they need to bowl really well. They can't let Australia get away on them because the differential of runs conceded v runs made will still hurt them. And they've got to hope Pakistan don't beat Zimbabwe really convincingly, or the other way round. So a couple of things that aren't in their control can still happen to help them or hurt them.
Again, exaggerated seam movement. That's hit Gray White on his right arm.
He spent more time watching the screen so far, Craig White, and seeing just how much that is off-cutting. He's probably thinking, is it doing as much as I feel with the bat? But that bounced and seamed. And he's one man that can provide exactly the same shape. Hit the seam and dart it into the right-handers.
Through him again. All the experience showing Glenn McGrath.
Craig White looking for this one to out of the hand, but missed it, just late on it. So the inconsistent bounce or the exceptional seam of McGrath has now got him missing the full straight one. Very good bowling. Last ball of McGrath's over.
Craig White will keep the strike. It's 195 for 8. One over to go. England desperately need to get above 200. So it won't be easy. Craig White has kept the strike. Brett Lee, the bowler. Single off the first ball.
Well, each batsman now has to go hard. For this delivery, it's Caddick. He's got to look to the boundary, or look to get something fine leg, third manish. Who knows what he can do. Goes hard. If he misses, he gets out. And then if White gets on strike, they happen to get a single. White can then do the same one at a time and see if they can't get over that 200 mark.
Good running.
Craig White's one English player that plays better against Australia than his career record. Decent summer in Australia with bat and ball. Bat towards the end of the summer, ball early doors after he was plucked from nowhere, holidaying in Adelaide. Now he's in the middle of a major World Cup match.
That's the bonus. That's 4 runs. That's the unfortunate thing when you bowl that pace. You get this on outside edge, it flies, and that flew.
No ball 2, so they get another chance at it. This is the dangerous gap, definitely. With this pace on, anything past the keeper is undefendable. Gilchrist gets the webbing. And that's all. Similar to the one he had to dive for at the other end, but low and wide. 200 up. White would like another.
Well, he's hit that as well, but he's found the man at mid-off. Andy Caddick was thinking about 2. This is a good over. Still 3 balls to go.
Wouldn't think that was 155 k's an hour, would you? He's made it look easy. It's right in the slot, but he's given himself some room. Showed Brett Lee all his stumps and hammered it fast and flat.
Good pace. Very accurate at this stage, Brett Lee. Quite often the bowlers are aiming for that Yorker length. And Gilchrist, good effort. Just doesn't quite stick. It wouldn't have made any difference. Well, it would. It would have saved runs, but that went at some pace. He did well to get across there. He shows pretty good control, Brett Lee. Don't see too many wides from him. The occasional no ball. Sliced away. How much back is it? It should be just 1. It is just 1. So, 1 ball to go. 9 runs from the over so far. England would like to finish it off. Give the bowlers something to have a go at.
Always amazes me. We've got 9 off the last over. Where's it been for the last 10 overs? This sort of intent.
Well, I think the problem is that they lost wickets in such a barrage of them after that flying start. They were conscious they needed to bat the overs out, so and give themselves a chance. One ball, the last ball. That's good from Australia. Just 33 runs conceded then from the last 10 overs. 204 for 8 from the 50 overs. Ricky Ponting, he'll be delighted. Lost the toss. I don't think he was too disappointed about that. And then got off to a flyer. Then Andy Bickle came into the equation, and didn't he make an impact? Amazing figures. 7 for 20 from his 10 overs. Craig White not out 16 from just 21 balls. Andy Caddick not out 5 from 11 balls. As to say that the hero for Australia, Andy Bickle, absolutely magnificent performance. Got the ball in his hand, and why wouldn't he? Applause from all his teammates. Clapped at the field. Standing ovation. Quite right too. Well, England are giving their bowlers something to work with. But I feel that Australia, if they got their length right at the start, the innings could have caused England all kinds of problem. They were too short, and then they brought Andy Bickle into the attack, and things started to happen. Mark Taylor has grabbed hold of Andy Bickle as he came off the field, and he's with him now.
Well, Andrew Bickle, well bowled to start with, 7 for 20, 12 wickets in the World Cup so far from 3 games. It'd be fair to say they're coming out all right?
Yeah, definitely. There's no doubt. I've been working hard, looking forward to this World Cup. Missed the '99 World Cup, and it was a big goal of mine to get this World Cup. And yeah, it was just nice to be out there today and enjoying what you do for a living. And you know, it was just nice to do.
Well, you probably come into the World Cup not sure whether you were going to play too many games. You've come in for Jason Gillespie in the side, who's had some injuries, but you seem to be making every post a winner.
Yeah, well, definitely. There's no doubt you don't like injuries to your teammates, especially Jason. He's, you know, he's a tremendous bowler, and it was just hopefully I could just fill his shoes today, and hopefully I've done that. He's got big shoes, and he's big shoulders, and he's a big man. It was just nice to be able to get out there and do the job what Jason would have done.
Well, you've certainly done more than that. Now, you seem to me to be swinging the ball. Even when it's old, you're still getting that ball to move away from the right-handers. Are you doing anything different in this series?
No, I don't think so. I think I've always managed to be able to swing the ball at certain times, and these conditions over here obviously are helping me at the moment. So hopefully the conditions stay the same, and I can keep continuing with my success.
Your thoughts on the pitch?
Yeah, I think it's a pretty good pitch. There's no doubt about that. Obviously, you've seen England got off to a great start. Obviously, the ball went through when the switch a lot newer. Obviously, it was a little bit slower, just slows down a bit, but generally it's a pretty good pitch.
Well, England were none for 66 at one stage when you came on to bowl. What were your thoughts at that stage?
Well, obviously, I was just worried about what I was going to do, you know, and just get in there and hang in around that off stump and hopefully nip a few out, and obviously it happened.
Oh, well, congratulations on a great performance today. 7 for 20, the second best bowling in the World Cup behind Glenn McGrath, 7-15. Go and enjoy lunch.
Thanks, Pete. Thanks, mate.
Well, even he's confused. There you go. That's the story then of the England batting card. They won the toss and batted, got off to a flyer. Partnership of 66 between the openers, and then Andy Bickle, the man of the moment, stepped in, and wickets started to tumble. Resistance came from Stewart and Flintoff, a partnership of 90. But really, Australia's morning. England with a lot of work to do.
Well, the outstanding one is the third one, Andy Bickle, 7 for 20. We've just heard of him. The expense at the top of the order, McGrath and Lee, expensive for their standards today. And I thought Lehman and Hogg did fantastically. 10 overs each, and they kept it to 28 and 34. That's what England's going to need to do. Their part-timers and their spinners need to be tight and hopefully get a wicket or two.
Well, that's the target. Australia needing 205 runs to win from 50 overs at a little over 4 runs per over. To a flyer, and then Skothic and Knight helping themselves. That went out the ground. Big 6. England were flying along. Maybe 7 runs and over they were scoring at. And then, as you expect with this side from Australia, they don't give in. Andy Bickle gets his chance in the side because of the injury to Jason Gillespie, and he makes the most of it. Knight was first. Vaughan, the thin outside edge, and taken. And the celebration starts. And Nasser was saying, well, the ball started to swing late and then seemed a bit more and knocked the off-stump back. Well, I'm surprised Glenn McGrath wasn't going to be kept out of the action. He got the wicket to Skopic, another catch for Damien Martin. For Collingwood. Left to Brad Hogg. That's the first ball of his spell. And for 6. And then Andy Bickle accounted for him. He went after the wide one. Simons, would like to see more of his bowling. Put up into the grandstand. And then Andy Bickle brought back. Andrew Flintoff tries to hit him out the ground. Well taken, high catch in the sky. And then, that's Stewart looking to whip that over mid-wicket. Lost his middle stump. Andy Bickle couldn't do anything wrong. Mr. Giles, well caught. Michael Bevan judged it pretty well. Andy Bickle picks up his 7th wicket. 7 wickets he picked up from his 10 overs for just 20 runs. Beautiful ground here in Port Elizabeth. Players are off the field. We're going to take a short break and we'll be back in half an hour.